It's 6 o'clock on Friday morning, which can only mean one thing here on ITV1. It's time for GMTV.
Rebels without a cause. Petrol prices tumble on the day that hauliers threaten more fuel protests. Good morning, this is the News Hour on GMTV.
Yes, it's 6 o'clock on Friday the 16th of September.
On the programme this morning, a price war at the petrol pumps has been declared, with at least 2 supermarkets slashing 4 pence off a litre. Others say they'll compete. So why are hauliers still protesting?
Also this hour, the diary of despair.
November 17th, 2004. I am fed up of hearing Tony Blair bang on about eradicating child poverty when his system has created more.
Talking to that single mother, Sonia Poulton, about her 5-year battle with the Child Support Agency a little bit later.
And grab your broomsticks, we've a special treat for Harry Potter fans.
The Dark Lord shall rise again.
That's enough. Oh, we don't want to spoil your appetite.
Yes, certainly don't. God, I was getting so interested.
Yeah, that is the new. He can barely contain himself.
Absolutely.
I tell you, he's come over all unnecessary. That is the new Harry Potter trailer, and he will be able to see it along with you in 20 minutes.
I'll
Control
spend the rest
yourself,
of the morning
John.
watching the offcuts. Also now to our wizard of the weather, Claire, who's in Sheffield this morning. Good morning, Claire.
Good morning. Yes, I'm at the home of the England cricket captain, Michael Vaughan. I just found that out, actually. I feel slightly ignorant. We're not going to talk about cricket today. We're talking about weather. It's freezing cold here in Sheffield, and it's going to set the scene for the weekend. It's going to feel more like autumn than summer. Temperatures are going to dip to around 2 Celsius over the weekend, so it's time to wrap up those very delicate plants because it's going to feel very chilly indeed. This morning, though, here in Yorkshire, it's clear sky. It's going to be a fine day across many parts of the country. Away from the southeast, where we will see some rain this morning, gradually clearing away. 1 or 2 showers continuing along the east coast and also the far north of Scotland. Temperatures struggling, say 15 to 19 Celsius, certainly feeling a lot cooler than it has done. At least we won't see the copious amounts of rain we did do yesterday. It was awful in the south, wasn't it? Yesterday the best sunshine was in the far northwest of Scotland. I'll be back in 25 minutes with more weather. Back to the studio.
Thanks very much, Claire. More on that top story. 2 leading supermarkets have slashed the price of their petrol by 4 pence a litre, the first significant cut since the price hikes caused by Hurricane Katrina. The move comes just days after panic buying at many forecourts nationwide. Well, Jonathan Swain's at a Tesco service station in East London. This beginning of a price war, Jonathan, perhaps?
I'm sure many of us certainly hope so, Penny. After all, it's been a difficult few weeks, hasn't it, as you described, with staggering prices, panic buying at the pumps and the threat of blockades at some oil refineries. Well, just before we came on air, Penny, this sign was actually changed here at Tesco's. They've cut 4 pence off a litre of all petrol, as have Asda from 6 o'clock this morning. It is now 89.9 pence unleaded and 92.9 for diesel, and you'll find this price at all 380 Tesco petrol stations around the country and at all 189 Asda petrol stations throughout the UK as well. Well, the supermarkets say that the cost of crude oil has dropped in the last few days, so they're now passing on those savings to the customers. But it begs the question why the big oil companies haven't done the same. Well, after a move like this by the supermarkets, I'm sure that we'll see perhaps price drops even further by the big oil companies to try and regain some initiative. Well, meanwhile, the full fuel protests are still taking place in about an hour's time. There's a 20-mile-an-hour go-slow planned on the M4 in South Wales, and the protesters say that it's all part of their strategy to highlight the fact that prices for petrol are still high, but they don't want to blockade refineries because they don't want to make the supply situation and the price even worse, Penny.
Jonathan, thank you very much.
Let's catch up on the rest of the news with Amanda. Good morning.
John, thank you. Good morning. President Bush has gone on the offensive to assure survivors of Hurricane Katrina that the US government will pay to rebuild the devastated region. He's spoken live to the nation from New Orleans, promising the biggest reconstruction project ever seen. Well, Cordelia Kretschmar is in New York. Cordelia, good morning. An admission of failure or a desperate attempt by Mr. Bush to boost his flagging ratings? What do you think?
Well, both really. I mean, it was clear, utterly clear to everybody that big mistakes were made. Today, President Bush has come out and taken responsibility for those. He has admitted that his administration failed its people.
The system at every level of government was not well coordinated and was overwhelmed in the first few days. Americans have every right to expect a more effective response in a time of emergency. When the federal government fails to meet such an obligation, I, as president, am responsible for the problem.
He also added that there is no way to imagine America without New Orleans, so he promised to pay for it to be rebuilt, no matter what that took. Well, what it is going to take is massive federal funding to help people rebuild their homes, build new homes, and create and get new jobs. He promised that too, and it's going to need to be delivered pretty soon, because New Orleans is opening again, ready or not. As soon as tomorrow, business owners are being told they can go back into the middle of the city. 40% of the population of that city is allowed back in phases over the coming days.
Cordelia, many thanks. Police investigating the murder of the Surrey student Marsha MacDonald have released new CCTV footage. The 19-year-old was battered over the head with a blunt instrument in February 2003. The footage shows Marsha getting off a bus in Hampton following a night out with friends. At the same time, a silver Vauxhall Corsa passes by. Police believe the driver of that car is crucial to their investigation and are now appealing for witnesses.
The car kind of slows down and then stops in the middle of a crossroads, I think because the driver's looking to see where Marsha's going. Is she going straight on or left or right? There were so few people about at that time of night that the driver of that car is of great interest to us.
Women who want it all are risking ill health and heartbreak by delaying motherhood. A report published today by 2 female consultants outlines how women are putting off giving birth because they're under pressure to have an established career first. They maintain the best time to have a baby is between the ages of 20 and 35. Oscar-winning actress Renee Zellweger has split from her husband Kenny Chesney after just 4 months of marriage. Zellweger's publicist has confirmed that the couple, who married in the Caribbean in May after a whirlwind romance, had separated. In court papers filed on Wednesday, fraud was listed as the reason for the breakup. Now, the football movie Goal premiered in London last night, and its star Anna Friel certainly scored with the crowds. The svelte actress adorned the red carpet just 2 months after giving birth to her daughter. Amongst the celebrities were sports stars Alan Shearer and Michael Owen, who both have cameo roles in the movie. The film is a rags to riches tale of a boy from Mexico whose talent takes him into Premiership football. And the time is now at 6:07. I'm back at 6:30. Here's John and Penny.
Now,
you
that's
see,
one film I will be seeing.
I was just going to say exactly. They might not like the wizards and the dementors and all that sort of thing.
But the wizards on the field, yes. Go for that.
Yes, exactly. Yes, that'll be one I'll be going to see as well, I'm sure.
You can go with me, I'll educate you.
No. Let's have a look at the newspapers, and that's The Guardian. Oh, the camera's over there. That's The Guardian. Extremist groups active inside UK universities saying that they pose a significant threat to national security. The Times says that sentences could be slashed for terrorist supergrasses. That's the front page there. And that picture, by the way, with a note, is actually what President Bush wrote to Condoleezza Rice. I think I may need a bathroom break. Is this possible? In a mixture of uppercase and lowercase letters. I thought it was interesting. No, I know. What I'm confused about is I think I may need.
Well, it's confusing.
Rather than does he or doesn't he?
Yes, indeed.
Yes, the Daily Telegraph says that that he actually inadvertently revealed that he himself had doubts about the new measures against terrorists. And the Independent, I think, probably the most scary front page, meltdown. A massive loss of Arctic ice means that global warming is now past the point of no return, apparently.
Quick look at the tabloids. The Mirror follows up its exclusive yesterday about Kate Moss's cocaine habit. The day drugs wipe me out is a headline. That story is picked up by The Sun as well. Kate's £200 a day coke habit. Same photograph of Miss Moss in New York. Daily Record leads with our lead this morning. Petrol prices down 18p a gallon at certain supermarkets. Daily Express, anarchy rules in our schools. That's a testimony of a teacher with 25 years' experience facing the sack, despite being cleared for assaulting an unruly child.
And Renee Zellweger in sensational marriage split after 4 months.
Indeed, which we just mentioned on our bulletin.
Oh,
yes.
did we?
We did.
I forgot to look.
Yes. fraud, the background, apparently, intriguingly.
Sorry.
And
concentrating.
try and keep up, Penny. The Daily Mail, Labour's tax on the family. Families being encouraged to break up by Labour's tax and benefit policies, claims the Daily Mail. But on the back pages, it's that man again.
That's what I was reading, you see.
Yeah,
that's why
of course you were. You were trying to keep up with me, weren't you? It's Mr. Rooney, apparently, as you know, sent off the other night in the game and incurring the wrath of his manager, Alex Ferguson. Oliver Holt's here to talk about that with us primarily. The time this lad grew up, and possibly the end of Alex Ferguson's softly approach to this guy, isn't it?
Yeah, because he did say when Rooney has been in the past and he's behaved badly with England that this never happens at Manchester United, but it has happened at Manchester United now, and it was a very, very foolish sending off. I have got some sympathy with him, as a lot of people have, I think, because he's 19 and he's under enormous pressure. I know people say, well, pressure, he's earning however much a week he's earning, and that's not real pressure, but he is under the spotlight. He is quite an immature kind of kid who's been, you know, plucked from a very poor background and thrust into this sort of limelight. So I have got some sympathy with him, but he's there now. Somebody's got to get hold of him, and because otherwise he is going to waste that talent. And you look at, people say he will mature, but look at Gaza, somebody like Gaza. I mean,
The UEFA Cup, Bolton did rather well, but they left it late, didn't they?
They did, yeah. They got off to a bad start. They went and
did the trick.
Good luck to them, yeah.
Bad news for Everton. I mean, they can wave goodbye to their UEFA Cup hopes. I think they were thrashed 5-1 last night.
It was a tough draw. You look at some of the other draws that other clubs have got, and they've really had bad luck, Everton.
Hibs didn't do as well as they might either. 0-0 draw for them when you would have expected them, well, you would have hoped they'd have won at home, wouldn't you?
You would, yeah. I think.
But they did win 2-0, didn't they? A good victory for them.
Yeah, I think that should be enough to see them through. I think Viduka got a late goal there. I mean, again, looking at Hibs, 0-0, it's not quite the bad result that it once was. That you half fancy them to go away. Certainly Middlesbrough kept a clean sheet. They should be all right in the second leg. Yeah.
Got to leave it there. Look forward to the weekend action, Oliver. Enjoy time.
It's 30 minutes past 6. You're watching the News Hour on GMTV. This morning's headlines: 2 leading supermarkets have slashed the price of their petrol by 4p a litre, the first significant cut since the price hikes caused by Hurricane Katrina. Other supermarkets are expected to follow suit.
President Bush has accepted full responsibility for the slow response to Hurricane Katrina and promised the US government will do what it takes to rebuild the devastated region.
And Bridget Jones star Renée Zellweger is a singleton again after splitting from her husband of just 5 months, country singer Kenny Chesney. Now, can I just say, the reason why I probably missed that is because I was looking at this rather marvellous cartoon in the Telegraph, which I must have missed it yesterday. There was something, a protest about retirement age, John? I don't know. What do we want? Why do we come here? What were we saying?
Very, very unfair. But funny.
Sorry, yes, exactly. Now, everybody in Britain will need special equipment to watch television within 6 years, and that's because the government's decided the current television signal will be switched off then and replaced with a digital one. Critics are already warning that it could be complicated and expensive. I'll be talking to technology journalist Kate Russell in just a moment. First, this report from Marcella Whittingdale.
Freeview, FreeSat, cable and digiboxes. In 2005, there are so many ways to get so many channels. But now Culture Secretary Tessa Jowell has announced, whether we like it or not, we'll all be making the switch to digital in the next few years.
At the moment, many of us get our pictures through an analogue signal, but by 2012, that's going to be switched off completely. That means if you're not connected to a digital receiver by a new digital TV, a digital set-top box, cable or satellite, then you won't even be able to get channels 1 to 5.
ITV's border region will be the first to make the switch in 2008. The rest of the country will follow suit region by region. For some, it's confusing. Others may have a sense of déjà vu. Who can forget the squarials or those extravagant promises from On Digital? But the message is clear. Digital's coming, don't make the switch, and there won't be anything on the telly.
Oh, I'm sure you'll still be able to get GMTV. Well, technology journalist Kate Russell, as I said, is here with me. So good morning. Does that mean that everyone's going to have to pay then to get television?
Well, you're going to need to pay for the equipment to receive the television, and there is going to be help. I mean, Tessa Jowell said yesterday that, you know, they're going to be putting a lot of money and a lot of effort into helping people on low incomes, you know, the elderly, people with disabilities. So there will be help there, financial help for people who can't afford it. But it is going to cost money because you've got to buy the equipment to transfer this, to receive the digital signal, which is something our old analogue televisions can't do at the moment.
Right, so what equipment? We're talking about that digibox?
Either the digibox or modern televisions are actually built with the digital receiver in them. I mean, I think it was Dixon's earlier on in the year announced that they're not going to be selling any more the analogue style televisions and radios and stuff like that. So it's going digital anyway. If you buy a new television now, the chances are, I think it's something like 25% of televisions last year, Ofcom said, were sold as digital televisions.
The question is why? Why doesn't the government leave it as it is?
Well, digital's a much more economic use of the spectrum. We can only get 5 channels on the analogue spectrum as it is at the moment, and if they turn that spectrum over to digital, it gives a lot more channels that you can use. The digital signal is a weaker signal is required, so they can actually fit more within the spectrum of broadcast.
But if people don't want more, why should they be forced to have more?
Exactly, this is the thing. I personally have 5 channels and I find that plenty. There's plenty of good stuff on the television to watch. And I kind of like the fact that sometimes there's nothing that I want to watch, so I go and do something else.
Yes, exactly.
So that's the downside. On the plus side, though, there's going to be an awful lot more additional services, as well as the more choice. There's going to be, more interactivity, more public service broadcasting, local public access television, things like that. So there is going to be additional services, and also, of course, the bandwidth which is freed up can be used for things like broadband services.
Right, now at the moment, if you get just the 5 television, all you have to buy is a television licence and that's your lot. With the new system, is everybody going to have to pay a monthly bill to somebody or other?
No, absolutely not. No, you see the Freeview box which is working at the moment, that's free to air television and gives you already lots of channels, but you've got to buy the kit to receive it.
Right, okay, I understand. Kate Russell, thank you very much.
Still to come on the News Hour, talking to the mother who kept a 3-year diary of her fruitless battle with the Child Support Agency.
And the British television premiere of the new Harry Potter film trailer.
Aren't we excited?
Muggles everywhere, just like John. Very, very excited. Ooh.
See what you've done? Welcome back. Tony Blair has called it a nightmare system, and there are likely to be fresh calls for the Child Support Agency to be scrapped when the new chief executive submits his report in a few weeks' time. In a moment, we'll be talking to the single mother, Sonia Poulton, who has endured a frustrating 3-year battle, a very, very frustrating 3-year battle, I can tell you, with the CSA. Sonia has kept a detailed diary of events on her computer.
March 28, 2002. The past 2 years have been very difficult. Even the weekly shopping bill has stretched my resources, and my brother and sister frequently drop off food for us. November 27, 2002. Having received our monthly checks for September and October, I learned today that our maintenance money has gone missing. I hang up in tears. I was relying on that money to buy Shay a bike for Christmas. October 17, 2003. I am drained and exhausted. I have excruciating abdominal pains that always come on when I'm stressed. Shay has picked up on the stress created by the CSA. November 17th, 2004. I am fed up of hearing Tony Blair bang on about eradicating child poverty when his system has created more. September the 9th, 2005. All this has had a knock-on effect on Shay. I tried to shield her, but like all children, she has picked up on my emotional strains. When are the CSA going to be held accountable for the mismanagement of money that is the moral and legal right of the children of this country?
Well, it's a tale we hear time and time again here on GMTV, and we make no apologies whatsoever for telling you another one. Sonia and her daughter Shay are with us now. Back home, Sonia, I think I'm right in saying you have a file that's inches thick, some 200 letters.
Yes.
Any idea how many phone calls over the years?
I mean, possibly 3 figures. There was just so many. I mean, some days there were 2-3 calls at a time.
And what basically has been the problem? If there is one problem you can single out.
No, there isn't one problem, but mismanagement right from the top, right to the bottom. There's a culture of arrogance which has existed within the CSA, passing the buck. It's endless. And the real problem, I think, is the new computer system which was introduced, and that's just created problems for many, many single parents.
And have you seen your mum getting ratty?
I don't really know.
No, but You've seen her getting very frustrated by it, I'm sure. Absolutely, absolutely. And it's hardly surprising, bearing in mind what you've been through. You called in the big guns. You called in the Minister for Pensions. You've called in your local MP. Has that had any impact?
Yes, it has actually. My local MP, Geoffrey Clifton-Brown, has been wonderful. Supported us throughout it, which has been really fantastic because at one stage I felt like I was going slightly crazy, as if nobody was listening to what I was saying. And even the big guns, as you call them, the Minister for Pensions, still it was very standard responses that were taking place. And actually, what a lot of people don't realise is that you actually have to go through your MP in order to really pull things and pull the strings and make things
At the end of the
happen.
day, I mean, they conceded defeat and they started paying you some money. I should think so too, because you're entitled to it right from the word go.
Indeed.
And they actually gave you some compensation.
Yes, we received a cheque in the grand sum of £85.
85 quid?
£85.
Is that all you got, really?
Yes. Yes.
I didn't know. After 5 years?
Well, no, it's actually 3 years of various things going wrong. 5 years in which we've been in the system, 3 years since they first contacted us. But we're actually told we are owed arrears of over £5,000. But so far we've received £85 in compensation.
For all the frustration and all the... You must have spent 5 times that amount on phone calls.
Oh, easily.
They issued, for what it's worth, the statement. Let's have a look at it.
Okay.
The agency works hard to ensure both parents meet their responsibilities to financially support their children, whether they live with them or not. This can often be difficult where parents refuse to comply or prove difficult to trace. Last year, we collected more than £600 million for children. Well, I'm sure they did, and I'm sure that's right, and I'm sure they have their difficulties like everybody else. But what's your response to that?
Well, if they've collected, did you say £600 million? Well, I'd like to know how much more could have gone out to the children that they've collected, because part of the problem for us was actually our money was lost in the system. It was paid into the system and then lost. Yeah. And that went on for nearly a year. Yeah. And for that you get 85 quid? Well, basically, yes. Oh, that's unbelievable. Let's talk to Gloria DePiero, who's down at Westminster for our look. Gloria's our political correspondent, as you know. I mean, hearing stories like this, Gloria, and we hear them every week virtually on GMTV, you've got to say, they've got to scrap this system, this organisation, haven't they?
Well, John, let me give you a quote. The system is a nightmare. There's no point in trying to kid you. John, they're not my words. They're not even the words of someone who's had a similar experience to Sonia. They're actually the words of the Prime Minister. He used them live on air during the election when he was berated on this. So you'd think, yeah, of course they're going to scrap it. I spoke to someone last night working very closely on this from within government. I'm afraid I don't think they are going to. He said to me, if we scrapped it, we'd have to set up a new agency to recoup these maintenance payments. What's the point in wasting money doing that? Now, the Liberal Democrats, for instance, say you wouldn't have to set up a new agency. Hand it over to the Inland Revenue. Let another government body sort this out. Well, they've been managing tax credits, and we know that they have also been fraught with problems. So my source said what we intend to do is jump-start the system. That, I'm afraid, John, is politician speak for one more heave.
I think you're right. Gloria, thanks very much indeed. Thanks to you two, Sonia and Shay. I know you're getting some money now. Whether it continues to come your way is another question, but at least you're getting some money now. You've scored some kind of victory at last. And if you're still waiting for payments from the CSA, you can find out how to complain by visiting our website. That's gm.tv. Complain in the same way Sonia did. Go to the top. Don't take no for an answer. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Time is 6:25. Now, a special treat for people like John.
Thank you.
The long-awaited fourth Harry Potter film comes out in 2 months' time, John. Only
really?
2 months.
Fantastic. I'll put a note in the diary.
And the note in the diary is November the 18th. That's when John can clutch his popcorn and marvel at the marvellousness of the latest Harry Potter. We have got our hands on the new trailer. Here it is. John, enjoy. John, calm down, calm down. He was so overexcited, can barely speak. Let's get the weather with Claire.
GMTV weather, sponsored by Tops Tiles, brightening homes, whatever the weather.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to the Peace Gardens here in Sheffield. Now, Sheffield just won the most amazing award, equivalent of Britain in Bloom. It's the European equivalent, and they've just won a gold medal, and you can see why. It's beautiful here this morning. However, it's going to be frosty this weekend, not only here in Sheffield, but many parts of England and Wales, in fact, Scotland this morning. So we did speak to the Royal Horticultural Society yesterday, and they gave us a few garden tips to protect your plants from the frost, which will be happening over the weekend. A few bits and pieces that they did tell us. Keep your pot in a more sheltered space, so basically it protects from the exposure to frost. And also bubble wrap's a really good way of insulating as well. Keep your pots above a ground level, and that allows drainage. And also horticultural fleece you can get from the garden centre is very good for insulating those very delicate plants through this early time of autumn. Also, another good way of insulating your plants is apparently scrub loads of newspaper and put them in between the pots. So a few top tips. I'm not really a gardener, but here in Sheffield you can see the reason why. I want to maintain the bloom at least for the next few weeks. Let's have a look and see what's happening weather-wise. You can see the reason why there is a frost across some parts of Scotland this morning. Clear skies. Clear skies extending now down to Sheffield, Yorkshire, where I am this morning. But down in the southwest, southeast, there is a lot of cloud. That cloud gradually clearing away. But this morning it is raining down there. Let's have a look and see what's happening in Scotland though. For Scotland's a fine day. Enjoy the sunshine, just 1 or 2 showers, but it's very chilly indeed. For the borders, Northern Ireland and Northern England, similar scenario. Watch out for 1 or 2 showers though across that east coast. For Wales, as well as the Midlands and East Anglia, well, you will enjoy some sunshine again today. It's going to be quite a chilly start, even so, not too bad at all with some fine spells of sunshine. Again, there is a risk, though, across more southern areas of East Anglia, some showers this morning into this afternoon. The rain will clear away from the southeast. Heading down to the southwest, it's going to be fine here, although the Channel Islands seeing that rain. Temperatures then, well, as you can see, only up to around 19 Celsius today. But for the weekend, it is looking better, although we will see more rain across Scotland on Saturday. That clearing away on Sunday. But it's the frost by night, which will be of concern, particularly in the south on a Friday night into Saturday, down to 2 or 1 Celsius. Really quite chilly indeed. At least by day, though, you should see some sunshine. Here's your summary.
For your in-depth local outlook, visit our website, or for a 10-day forecast, call GMTV's Weatherline on 0905 514 0000.
Good morning, it's 6:30. It's Friday the 16th of September.
You're watching the News Hour here on GMTV. In the next half hour, we look at pregnancy discrimination in the workplace. Does having a baby seriously harm your career prospects?
And in the week, GMTV has been making dreams come true. Jenny Faulkner lives hers with the help of some rather large furry animals.
But first, our top story this morning. 2 leading supermarkets have slashed the price of their petrol by 4p a litre, the first significant cut since the price hikes caused by Hurricane Katrina. The move comes just days after panic buying at many forecourts nationwide. Jonathan Swain is at a Tesco service station in East London for us this morning. Morning to you, Jonathan. So is this the beginning of a price war?
Well, John, I'm sure we all certainly hope so. In the last half an hour, Tesco's and Asda have slashed their prices by 4p a litre. Just before we came on air, this sign here at Tesco's garage was changed. It now reads 89.9p for unleaded and 92.9p for a litre of diesel. You'll find these prices at all 380 Tesco's supermarkets around the UK, as you will at all 189 Asda forecourts as well. Well, supermarket bosses have said that they've lowered the prices because the price of crude oil has dropped in the last few days, and are now passing their savings on to us, the consumers. Well, it does beg the question, though, why the big oil companies haven't done the same. Well, after a move like this, I'm sure they'll feel pretty much shamed into lowering their prices as well. There's also speculation that they perhaps may even drop their prices even further, sparking a price war. Well, meanwhile, the fuel protesters are still out and about. From 7 o'clock this morning, in half an hour's time, there will be a planned 20-mile-an-hour go-slow on the M4 in South Wales. I think we can see a live shot of that now, just near junction 48 on the M4 in South Wales. All very quiet at the moment, but as I say, that protest starts at 7 o'clock in just over half an hour's time. And all this is in response to the staggering oil prices we've had in the wake of Hurricane Katrina. And we've had panic buying at many petrol stations in the last week or so around the country. Many forecourts have been running out of fuel. We've even seen some petrol prices rise to around £1.10 per litre. Today's protest, they say, isn't about creating panic. They say, John, it's all about making the point that fuel duty needs to be cut.
Jonathan, thanks very much indeed.
Time is 27 minutes to 7. Let's get this morning's other top news stories from Amanda.
Thanks, Penny. Good morning. The Bridget Jones star Renée Zellweger has split from her husband Kenny Chesney after just 4 months of marriage. A spokeswoman for the Oscar-winning actress has confirmed in the last few hours that the couple are going to have their marriage annulled. This report now from Alan Fisher.
Renée Zellweger only tied the knot in May. She met country and western singer Kenny Chesney during a charity concert. And after a whirlwind romance, the pair married barefoot in a beach ceremony in the Virgin Islands. Now the Bridget Jones star wants to be a singleton again, citing fraud as the reason for the breakup in papers filed in a Los Angeles court, but giving no further details. Only last week, when asked on GMTV how she was coping with married life, she remained guarded.
What's married life like? Is everything you thought it would be?
You know, I've been kind of busy, so I haven't noticed the formality of it, you know what I mean? But, you know, I'm smiling a lot
And
these
what's
days.
he like? You're smiling a lot. What's he like? Is he...
Oh, I don't want to talk about that. I can't.
You can't.
I gotta keep those precious things precious for myself.
There's been speculation that the couple's marriage was in trouble because they were spending so little time together. Her publicist has confirmed the couple are now apart and they're seeking an annulment.
Alan Fisher reporting there. President Bush has gone on the offensive to assure survivors of Hurricane Katrina that the US government will pay to rebuild the devastated region. He's spoken live to the nation from New Orleans, promising the biggest reconstruction project in history. It'll cost an estimated $200 billion. Sir Bob Geldof has told GMTV that he's deeply disappointed that world leaders haven't kept their promises to act on poverty. Sir Bob says he's held discussions with the Prime Minister about the failure of the United Nations summit to resolve the issue of aid and trade. He says Mr Blair has pledged to keep pursuing the agreement reached at the G8 meeting in July.
To have this assembly literally of world leaders, not just ministers and that, and they achieve relatively little with regard to this issue is a shame.
Police investigating the murder of the Surrey student Marsha MacDonald have released new CCTV footage. The 19-year-old was battered over the head with a blunt instrument in February 2003. The footage shows Marsha getting off a bus in Hampton following a night out with friends. At the same time, a silver Vauxhall Corsa passes by. Police believe the driver of the car is crucial to their investigation and are now appealing for witnesses. Now, while the English cricket team is still nursing their hangovers, attention is turning back to football, but not on the pitch, on the big screen. And it wasn't just footballers who turned out for last night's premiere of Goal. Here's Angela Corp.
The beautiful people and the beautiful game, a winning combination for any new movie. Goal is a rags-to-riches tale of a young boy from Mexico whose talent takes him to the glamour of Premiership football. Oh, and the rain. And the hospital?
I broke both of my ankles. I really had a lot of injuries. I broke my nose once, have a couple of scars here. It was really difficult and very physical.
The film and the premiere got an injection of glamour from Anna Friel, looking great just weeks after giving birth, but she admits football's really not her thing.
I don't know much about it. I keep being asked what's the offside rule, to which I answer, I have no idea.
And not all the celebs were big fans either.
Well, I think football's okay.
It's a good lifestyle, I'd live it. It should be me on the pitch.
We're definitely not on the footballers' money yet. If that changes, then I'll be playing cricket until I'm 45.
The movie hasn't even hit the box office yet, but they're about to start filming the sequel, so the people behind Goal will be hoping this film shoots and scores when it reaches cinemas on September the 30th.
Angela Corp there. It is now 6:37. Our next news update is at 7. Here's John and Penny.
Do you know what? I can never understand. Why do people get so confused about the offside rule?
It's so simple.
If you play hockey, I know if you played hockey when you grew up, you know about the offside rule. So easy. Last day of our Spanish holiday home competition and your last chance for a place in our grand final later on this morning.
Yes, here's Cheggers with the details.
GMTV is giving you the chance to win your very own holiday home worth over £90,000, courtesy of Harrodale Properties. It's a 2-bedroomed apartment with a balcony overlooking the Costa Blanca. The prize is located just down the road from the beach on a development with landscape gardens and shared pools. It also comes fully furnished and there'll be 4 runner-up prizes of £1,000 each. What is the name of the Spanish waiter in the TV series Fawlty Towers? A. Mike, B. Morris, or C. Manuel?
You can dial 09068 100 100. That's 09068 100 100. Or you can text A, B or C as your answer, plus your name and full address to 81149. Or you can enter via the website.
The line's open until 8 o'clock this morning, and then we'll announce the last finalist name and the grand prize draw at around 8:20. And for those people who don't believe I know about the offside rule, it's just one defender between you and the goalie when you pass the ball. That's it. Easy.
No, never mind. Here's what's happening where you are.
Good morning, welcome to the breakfast news from ITV Granada. Detectives hunting the killer of an elderly woman in North Wales are hoping a reconstruction of the movements of a key suspect last night will provide vital new clues. It's been over a week since Elsie Hughes' murder. Kate Gifford reports.
Police believe this is the man that killed 90-year-old Elsie Hughes. Found by her daughter, the former school dinner lady was lying in a pool of blood in her living room just over a week ago. Earlier that day, a man like this, wearing a white hoodie, was seen acting suspiciously on the afternoon of Elsie's death. He walked into this takeaway in Abermorthy near Wrexham. Later, he was seen going into number 50 Harwarden Road, Elsie's home for 60 years. He was then seen running from the terraced house, holding a Spar carrier bag. A dark-coloured Ford Escort van parked nearby then left.
We're hoping for some further witnesses that may come forward as a result of the reconstruction. I know that we've had a positive response from the public already, and I know we've had some information tonight. However important that information is, it's too early to say as yet.
The people of Abermorthy hope it'll help trap Elsie's brutal killer.
It's D-Day for the former home of Ringo Starr today. Liverpool City Council's expected to approve a recommendation to demolish his birthplace on Madryn Street in Dingle as part of a regeneration project. 2 months ago, the former Beatles home was given a stay of execution, but it's now expected to be bulldozed along with over 400 other properties. Sport, and Bolton Wanderers made history last night as they entered European competition for the first time in 131 years, taking on Bulgarian side Lokomotiv Plovdiv in the UEFA Cup first round. The Bulgarians took an early lead with a shock 28th-minute goal from Boban Jančevski, but unbowed Wanderers made a stunning comeback, clinching the tie with goals from El Hadj Diouf and Jared Borghetti. Everton were thrashed 5-1 by Dynamo Bucharest in their UEFA Cup tie, leaving David Moyes with a mountain to climb for a place in the second round of the competition. They fell behind in the 27th minute after a bright start when Joseph Yobo had nearly put them ahead. The Nigerian equalised for the Blues 3 minutes later, but they fell apart in the second half, conceding 4 goals. That's it for now. I'm back at 7:05. Time now for a look at the region's weather.
Brighten someone's day with a card and gift from Clinton's.
It'll be sunny across the region today, although there will be some cloud inland. Later, it'll become increasingly cloudy, bringing with it some rain. Top temperatures 15 Celsius, that's 60 degrees Fahrenheit, with a brisk breeze.
Welcome back to the News Hour. 19 minutes to 7 is the time. In a special address from the centre of New Orleans, President George Bush has told America he takes responsibility for the poor response to Hurricane Katrina. He admitted attempts to deal with the disaster were badly coordinated and has pledged a vast reconstruction programme to bring the city back to life.
We will do what it takes. We will stay as long as it takes to help citizens rebuild their communities and their lives. And all who question the future of the Crescent City need to know there is no way to imagine America without New Orleans.
Well, plans to reopen at least 4 districts of New Orleans next week are already underway. Let's cross live now to Cordelia, who's in New York and, along with myself, saw much of the devastation in New Orleans in the last couple of weeks. The good news is, Cordelia, as far as British tourists are concerned anyway, that the French Quarter is going to reopen in the next few days. That's Canal Street and Bourbon Street, which I visited a couple of weeks ago, the scene of all those fantastic jazz clubs, restaurants, clip joints, etc., etc. Started by the French, of course, back, I think, in the 18th century, and still very much a hot spot for tourists. But it's going to be a long time before people actually go back there, isn't it, Cordelia, really?
Well, actually, they're going to start phasing people in from this Saturday and slowly over the coming days. And actually, John, I think that's the worry, really. People here in America, at least, are asking whether this is too much too soon, because there are still an awful lot of guns around in that city. Thankfully, most of them on policemen and soldiers, but I'm afraid some of them are on the baddies. When I was there as recently as last Saturday, we went out on patrol with police, and we got caught up in a shooting incident ourselves. They never found the gunman. He melted melted away into the background, but the police told me this was completely normal. This is the kind of thing that's still happening every single day in broad daylight. And in fact, that night, as you know, John, you did yourself, we were all sleeping in the open air in car parks. Well, that night, for various reasons, I didn't get much sleep. It's not the most relaxing of environments. And I was noticing not a single police or army patrol past that car park, and that's a real worry when you imagine that these people are going to be returning now in real numbers. Some of those people returning pretty desperate, having been displaced and taken away from everything they know. So you can see kind of security worries I'm thinking about there.
When I said it's going to a long time before people go back, I meant a long time before the tourists go back. The citizens of New Orleans, as you rightly say, going back, about 40% of them, according to the mayor, will be back in their homes in the next few days anyway, but there's about 146,000 homes, I gather, in the city or around the city that are going to be completely demolished. So it is a huge operation, and as you say, you do wonder what they're going back to, because we still don't have, I don't think there's power fully restored in all areas yet, so there's a lack of energy, and there's still, I imagine, that terrible stench from that water.
Well, that's right. About half the city, just under half the city, is still underwater. That means more than half is dry, and the bits that we call dry are now covered, as you know, John, in kind of inches of thick sludge. Now, the real problem is, for returning people, I suppose, is that there's not a single school open there. A couple of hospitals are promising to open emergency services. The mayor is trying to persuade Walmart, a huge American chain, to open a single store in New Orleans in the Superdome, so that at least the returning people can have somewhere to buy their goods. So when you see the kind of problems that people who do go back are going to be up against, and that's what makes President Bush's promises today so important. They really will be completely reliant on federal help, federal money to help rebuild their lives. If it doesn't come, they'll really be stuck.
They will indeed. It's a huge task, as he said in his address last night. Cordelia, thanks very much indeed, and we wish, obviously, the people of New Orleans well in their endeavours to get back to normal.
Time is 7:15. It's hard to believe that in the 21st century, women are still penalised by employers for having a baby. Latest figures suggest that 30,000 women who get pregnant feel discriminated against at work, and that's what happened to Hannah Quinn, who's here with Mia. And we also have Caroline Slowcock of the Equal Opportunities Commission. Good morning to you both. Now, so Hannah, you'd just been promoted when you got pregnant, is that right?
I was promoted before I got pregnant.
Yes, and then there you were working away, and they'd suddenly decided that you were going to be demoted again because you got pregnant.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. They said that my job as a duty manager was too dangerous to carry out being pregnant, so that I would be safer in a clerical role.
Yeah, and then they asked you to do half of the work that you'd been doing when you'd been promoted anyway, hadn't you?
That's right.
Does Mia want to go for a little walk round? Okay, there we go. Off you go. going off to play with the camera. So you left and you sued for sex discrimination and constructive dismissal.
That's correct, yes.
And that took you years to sort out.
Yeah, it started when I was 4 months pregnant, and Mia's 14 months now, 14 months old, so it's been going on a long time. I've actually won my tribunal case, and my old employers appealed against the decision, but they didn't win their appeal.
And are you, despite the fact it's taken such a long time, are you still glad that you went through with it and took them to court?
I am, yeah. I mean, there were times when I thought this is really hard going, and I wasn't sure whether I was doing the right thing, but I think now I've got to this stage, it's all worth it, definitely. If I can show to other women who might be in this situation that, you know, there are things that you can do, there is advice and help. I had my union to support me, and they've been great.
You had people behind you. Well, we did ask Southern Railways for a statement. This was the response. Because the case hasn't yet been fully resolved, we're not in a position to comment at this stage. Caroline, it does seem incredible that this is still happening so many years on from the Equal Opportunities law.
Well, we've just completed a 2-year investigation, and we found that it really is widespread. 30,000 women forced out of their jobs or who feel they have to leave their jobs because of discrimination. And, you know, it's time really for action. It's time to stop this happening so that people like Hannah don't have to, try and sort it out themselves, which is so difficult. So
and the difficult thing here is you have to sort of make yourself unemployed to actually go through with it, don't you? Which is an awful situation to find yourself in.
And it's the worst possible time. I mean, imagine, you're pregnant, you're expecting a baby, you need the money, and you don't need this stress. So it's really time for the government to take action to stop this happening in the first place. And
such as what?
Well, we're calling on them to give women, when they go to their first antenatal appointment, a simple statement of rights and responsibilities with a tear-off slip which they can give to their employer, so that right from the start both parties know what the law is and know where they stand.
Do you think employers don't know where they stand? Do, do they not think that in the vast majority of the cases they're going to get away with it?
Well, I think there's a mix of things. Some people simply discriminate. Others actually don't know what the law is. Certainly our investigation found this. And some employers are just anxious about planning, costs and so forth. So there's also
since there seems to be that problem with when you have the baby, you can actually choose, can't you, how long to take off? Is that right? Which for a small company is quite difficult.
Well, planning ahead, yes. Certainly companies do find planning ahead difficult. So what we'd like the government to do is to give them a clear sort of green light to contact mothers when they're away, to ask them when they're going to come back. So there's help for employers as well, which would make this easier. And I think that also a bit of extra financial support for small employers would make a difference.
Right, thank you very much. Mia's finally decided on the banana. Oh, and the pastry. Caroline, thank you very much. Hannah, thank you too. And thank you, Mia, for being very well behaved. And if you'd like more information and advice on your rights when being pregnant at work, we have all the details on the website. That's at gm.tv.
Time now is 10 to 7. You're watching the News Hour here on GMTV, and these are the headlines you're waking up to this morning. 2 leading supermarkets have slashed the price of their petrol by 4p a litre, the first significant cut since the price hikes caused by Hurricane Katrina. Other retailers are expected to follow suit.
Bridget Jones star Renée Zellweger is a singleton again after splitting from a husband of just 5 months. Country singer Kenny Chesney. Fraud has been cited as the reason for the breakup.
Yes, and the actress Anna Friel has been showing off her new svelte figure just weeks after giving birth to her daughter. She attended the premiere of her new film, Goal. Now, as part of our Dreams Come True week, we have granted viewers dreams as well as some of our own here at GMTV. And today, it's Jenny Falconer's turn to get up close and personal with some rather big animals.
Dreams can come true. Look at me, babe, I'm with you. You know you got to have home.
Now, I'm lucky enough to have travelled to many places in the world, but the one thing I've never done is been on safari. Since I was little, I've been desperate to get up close to some of these amazing wild animals. So today, my dream is to be a park ranger.
The lions are probably more dangerous than ones in the wild because they're not afraid. In the wild, you could scream and shout and they'd run off because, they don't know what's happening. If you did that in here, you'd be eaten.
Now, the sign says do not get out of your car, so Ian, what exactly are we doing?
This is actually the tiger section we're in at the moment, and we've checked to make sure the tiger's in the house. That was the safety check this morning. We're going to go into the tiger house now and feed them out and give you a bit of a treat.
Oh, I love tigers. I don't think I've ever been this close to a tiger. What's her name?
This is Kadu.
Kadu.
Yeah.
Now, can I do that? Or will it...
Just put your hand on that.
Really?
Do you
think?
You can smell it. This is the best bit when we let them outside. They've got this aerotrain around it.
Oh! I think we're just scaring them off. Don't think they like me.
Brazilian tapirs we've got here, not the normal exotic animal. They like to be stroked. The more the strokes, the better. Next.
You can't have them all. You've got to let some of your mates in. Ian, I'd like to thank you very much for today. It's been my dream to go on safari, but this has been even better because I've actually fed the animals and got really close to them, so thank you very much.
That's all right, well, we haven't finished yet, I'm afraid. We've got the dirty jobs mucking out to do.
That's not in my dream.
Sorry.
It's not in my dream, it's in my nightmare.
Lovely place. Fancy the real thing now?
I'm desperate to go on the real thing. You know, I've been to a kind of glamorous zoo in South Africa, and I've been to an elephant sanctuary in Thailand, but I've never been on safari.
We did Kenya a long time ago. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
Nothing
everyone
to
says
beat.
it's great.
Just suddenly spotting these animals doing whatever they're doing. Fantastic.
Well, I'm a huge fan of the big cats, especially tigers. So to actually get up close to the tigers there was great. That was just before they released them for the day. And so I tell you what, if anyone likes cats or dogs, I stroked its back. The tiger's back, and its hind leg twitched like a cat would. It's fantastic.
But they are potentially naughty.
Oh yeah, if you go to Longleat, don't get out of the car and go and stroke them.
No,
I don't think you'll be alive to tell the tale. But the lions especially, I mean, they would have mauled me if that barrier hadn't been there, because they are not friendly animals. It's the lionesses.
Sure. But a great day and a dream come true. Fantastic.
Oh, there we go.
Excellent. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Talking of dreams come true, John.
Yes, Penny.
Harry Potter film, I know you're just dying to watch it. Well,
As much as
Steph
I'm
from
looking forward to
Milton Keynes is with you. It's her 15th birthday on the day that it's released, and she's going to take her mates there to see the new Harry Potter movie. And I'm sure if you gave her a ring, you could maybe tag on.
Steph?
She's 15.
Count me in. Thanks very much, Dee, for all your text messages and calls, by the way, about the CSA. I think we'll deal with some a little bit later in the programme. As ever, we are inundated.
Fiona and Ben up next with GMTV today in the big competition giveaway.
Yes, one lucky person will be winning a £90,000 Spanish holiday home by the end of the month. Just think about that. Still time to enter.
Next, though, Claire is in Sheffield with the weather.
GMTV weather, sponsored by Tops Tiles, brightening homes, whatever the weather.
Hello, good morning. Now, welcome to Sheffield. Did you know Sheffield is award-winning? Not only Michael Vaughan, the England cricket captain, comes from Sheffield, it's also won the most amazing award called the Entente Forel, which is equivalent of Europe's Britain in Bloom. It got a gold medal. What that means is it's actually just incredibly awarded. You can see it. Isn't it amazing here in the Peace Gardens? There's flowers everywhere, and in fact, the whole of Sheffield really looks like this. It's really stunning. But even award-winning gardens are going to be suffering this weekend. Beautiful flowers, the summer flowers, which are still out, will suffer because a frost is on its way. It's freezing here this morning. A widespread ground frost is likely across England and Wales this weekend, with temperatures down to around 2 Celsius. Scotland this morning experienced a little bit of pockets of air frost, some frost on the grass. Clear skies here, but further south it is going to be this weekend. Let's have a look on the satellite picture and we can see why this morning Scotland and Northern Ireland is a bit chilly, and that's because there are some clear skies, although we are seeing some showers across some eastern areas of Northern Ireland. And further south, that cloud, and you can see the echoes on the radar, that's bringing some rain. The rain will be clearing away from the southeast, the Channel Islands and the East Anglia through the morning into the afternoon. So we can pick up on where the sunshine is today. It's here in Sheffield once the sun really rises, and many parts of England and Wales away from that southeast corner. The cloud is now breaking up across Scotland and Northern Ireland, so you should see some sunshine here. Down in the southwest, though, there will be more in the way of cloud, but again, it should break up through the day. Through the afternoon, then that rain clears off the scene across the southeast, although there could be 1 or 2 showers still continuing, and showers also continuing along that eastern coast there. Elsewhere, it's going to be mostly fine and dry with some sunny spells, although the far north of Scotland seeing some showers. Temperatures struggling a little bit. It's going to feel more like autumn than late summer now. 15 to 18 degrees Celsius, 18 is 64 Fahrenheit. Tonight, it's going to be chilly down in the south, England and Wales, that is 2 Celsius at the very lowest, perhaps even lower than that. So remember to keep your plants sheltered and wrap them up warm, particularly the delicate ones, because it is going to be very cold indeed. But at least for the weekend, rain in Scotland and Northern Ireland on Saturday, clearing away on Sunday. Sunshine for the rest of the country, but it's going to feel rather cool. Watch out for the breeze. Here's your summary. For your in-depth local outlook, visit our website, or for a 10-day forecast, call GMTV's Weatherline on 0905 514 0000.
Diary of Despair. This mum records her frustrating battle with the Child Support Agency. Good morning, you're watching GMTV today.
It's Friday, it is the 16th of September, nearly 7 o'clock. Oh yes, 2005, I nearly forgot that. Morning.
We've talked about it lost in the past, and I'm sure it's going to be a familiar story to many of you. Sonia Poulton's battle with the CSA has dragged on, would you believe it, for 5 years. She thinks the system is a shambles and she wants it scrapped. We're going to be talking to her a little bit later on. We want to know what you think. Email us at gm.tv or text us with your experiences with the CSA on 81189. What do you think should be done to the CSA? And perhaps there's an alternative.
You've opened the floodgates there.
Well, quite right too.
Every time we talk about this, yeah. We've not seen much of them for 18 months, but Liberty X are back with a new album and their biggest ever tour too. New video nearly got them arrested in New York.
It's a cracking story. As well as that, it's your final chance to enter our competition to win a Spanish holiday home worth £90,000. Check-us got the details.
Good morning to you. Look at this. It's 100 degrees. There's not a cloud in the sky. Join me later and I'll be telling you how you could win a home here.
Those lines are going to close at 8 o'clock. That's in an hour's time. And the grand draw is at 8:20.
You've been taught. You wouldn't believe the excitement in here about the grand draw at 8:20, so you better watch to make it all worthwhile. The 7 o'clock news now, 7:01. Here's Penny.
Thanks very much, Fiona. Good morning. The headlines today. Petrol price wars kick off as supermarkets slash the cost of fuel. President Bush admits mistakes over Katrina and promises he'll rebuild New Orleans whatever the cost. And Bridget Jones star Renée Zellweger is a singleton again after splitting up from her husband. 2 leading supermarkets have slashed the price of their petrol by 4p a litre, the first significant cut since the price hikes caused by Hurricane Katrina. That move comes just days after panic buying at many forecourts nationwide. Jonathan Swain is at a Tesco service station in East London. So is this a price war, Jonathan?
Well, let's hope so, Penny. That'd be great news for all of us, wouldn't it? I've just finished filling up here at Tesco's, and it's the cheapest petrol that I've bought in the last month. Within the last hour at 6 o'clock, Tesco's and Asda slashed the price of their petrol by 4p per litre. The price is now 89.9p for unleaded, 92.9p for a litre of diesel. You'll find these prices at all 380 Tesco's garages throughout the UK and at all 189 Asda garages as well. Well, the supermarket bosses say the price of crude oil has fallen slightly in the last few days and are now passing their savings on to us, the consumers. But it does beg the question whether big oil companies like BP, Texaco and Shell haven't done the same. Well, after this move by the supermarkets this morning, maybe they'll feel shamed into lowering their prices, and there is speculation that they'll perhaps lower their prices even further, sparking a price war. So that's going to be great news for us motorists now, Penny.
Jonathan, thanks very much. Well, despite today's price cuts, fuel protesters in Wales are still planning a motorway go-slow this morning on the M4. Jackie Cablet is there. Jackie, the demo's a damp squib so far this week. How's the go-slow going?
Well, it hasn't actually started yet. It's starting any minute now, about 6 miles away that way. Lorry drivers and protesters are meeting up there. It's been led by, I think that's one of them, led by the Welsh Hauliers Less Tax on Fuel group. They've been joined this morning by members of the Farmers Union and just local people who are very supportive. Now, the plan is they're going to drive at 20 miles an hour down the M4, basically all the way through Wales to the Welsh bit of the M4 to Newport, which they'll get to about 2 o'clock. They'll turn around and come back again. So the whole of the M4 is due to be disrupted for the entire day. They are determined to go ahead despite the lowering of the fuel prices, and this is what one protester, Nick Summerfield from the Farmers Union, had to say a little bit earlier.
I think we've got to just support our previous protests and make sure that government are aware that there are very strong feelings about this, because hauliers and farmers are desperate now.
Well, we did see all those massive queues at the petrol pumps this week. That's so far the only real disruption that the protesters have caused. The protests at the oil refineries are a bit of a damp squib, as we know, with more press there than actual protesters. So we'll just have to wait and see whether this go slow on the M4 is going to cause any disruption. We should know by about 8 o'clock this morning whether it's had any impact.
Jackie, thanks very much. President Bush has gone on the offensive to assure survivors of Hurricane Katrina that the American government will pay to rebuild the devastated region. He's spoken live to the nation from New Orleans, promising the biggest reconstruction project in history. It's expected to cost around $200 billion. Bridget Jones star Renée Zellweger has split up from her husband Kenny Chesney after just 4 months of marriage. A spokeswoman has confirmed in the last few hours that they're going to have their marriage annulled. This report from Alan Fisher.
Renée Zellweger only tied the knot in May. She met country and western singer Kenny Chesney during a charity concert. And after a whirlwind romance, the pair married barefoot in a beach ceremony in the Virgin Islands. Now the Bridget Jones star wants to be a singleton again, citing fraud as the reason for the breakup in papers filed in a Los Angeles court, but giving no further details. Only last week, when asked on GMTV how she was coping with married life, she remained guarded.
What's married life like? Is everything you thought it would be?
You know, I've been kind of busy, so I haven't noticed the formality of it, you know what I mean? But, you know, I'm smiling a lot
And
these
what's
days.
he like? You're smiling a lot. What's he
Yes,
like?
ma'am.
Is he...
Oh, I don't want to talk about that. I can't.
You can't.
I gotta keep those precious things precious for myself.
There's been speculation that the couple's marriage was in trouble because they were spending so little time together. Her publicist has confirmed the couple are now apart and they're seeking an annulment.
Police investigating the murder of Surrey student Marsha McDonnell have released new CCTV footage. The 19-year-old was beaten to death in February 2 years ago. The footage shows Marsha getting off a bus in Hampton after a night out with friends. At the same time, a silver Vauxhall Corsa passes by. Police believe that the driver of that car is crucial to their investigation and are appealing for witnesses. And finally, the football film Goal premiered in London last night, and its star Anna Friel certainly scored with the crowds. She adorned the red carpet just 2 months after giving birth to her daughter. Amongst the celebrities there were sports stars Alan Shearer and Michael Owen, who both have cameo roles in the movie. The film is a rags to riches tale of a boy from Mexico whose talent takes him into Premiership football. 6 minutes past 7, I'm back at 7:30. Here are Fiona and Ben.
Wow.
We're still reeling from the news of Renée Zellweger.
Can you believe it, honestly? And apparently it's something to do... Fraud has been cited as one of the reasons. Maybe he's not a man.
Maybe. Maybe there could be all sorts of things.
Maybe he doesn't love
Text
her.
us, tell
Maybe
us what you
he's older,
think he's
younger.
been frauding her over.
It's
bizarre, isn't it?
And just seeing that clip when Carla was talking to her was so spooky. I'm smiling at the moment.
It's a very difficult thing. It's a very difficult thing, isn't it? Because then they get married and it's such a whirlwind romance and it happens so quickly and it's so public and everybody's waiting for it to go wrong and you kind of hope, oh, it's not going to. She seems pretty together. 4 months down the line and it's being annulled.
Well, you took long enough to marry that poor Annie,
I know,
didn't you?
I have to
How long,
say,
how
she's
long
sitting
was
there.
she hanging around for?
10 years.
10 years! And then you finally did. It's great being married, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
As long as you don't need it annulled and there's no fraud going on, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Actually, and if all that does happen, you might need the CSA, unfortunately. We're talking about that later on. They won't help you out either. They're rubbish.
No, they'll keep you waiting longer than I kept Annie waiting.
Exactly. And even the Prime Minister says it's a nightmare. Anyway, more about the CSA, because so many of you already have mailed in this morning. All that happening after what's happening where you are.
Good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast News from ITV Granada. Detectives hunting the killer of an elderly woman in North Wales are hoping a reconstruction of the movements of a key suspect last night will provide vital new clues. It's been over a week since Elsie Hughes was murdered. Kate Gifford reports.
Police believe this is the man that killed 90-year-old Elsie Hughes. Found by her daughter, the former school dinner lady was lying in a pool of blood in her living room just over a week ago. Earlier that day, a man like this, wearing a white hoodie, was seen acting suspiciously on the afternoon of Elsie's death. He walked into this takeaway in Abermorthy near Wrexham. Later, he was seen going into number 50 Harwarden Road, Elsie's home for 60 years. He was then seen running from the terraced house, holding a Spar carrier bag. A dark-coloured Ford Escort van parked nearby then left.
We're hoping for some further witnesses that may come forward as a result of the reconstruction. I know that we've had a positive response from the public already, and I know we've had some information tonight. However important that information is, it's too early to say as yet.
The people of Abermorthy hope it'll help trap Elsie's brutal killer.
The city of Liverpool's gearing up for the start of the round-the-world Clipper yacht race this weekend. Final preparations are underway as thousands of spectators are expected to pack the waterfront to wave off 10 international crews. They embark on the 35,000-mile adventure tomorrow lunchtime. It's D-Day for the former home of Ringo Starr today. Liverpool City Council is expected to approve a recommendation to demolish his birthplace on Madryn Street in Dingle as part of a regeneration project. Over 400 other properties are also expected to be bulldozed. Sport, and Bolton Wanderers made history last night as they entered European competition for the first time in 131 years. They took on Bulgarian side Lokomotiv Plovdiv in the UEFA Cup first round. The Bulgarians took a lead in the 28th minute goal from Boban Jančevski, but Wanderers made a stunning comeback with goals from El Hadj Diouf and Jared Borghetti. Everton were left with a mountain to climb to reach the second round of the UEFA Cup after being thrashed 5-1 by Dynamo Bucharest. The Blues fell behind in the 27th minute before Joseph Yobo equalised 3 minutes later, but they fell apart in the second half, conceding 4 goals. And back at 8:05, time now for a look at the region's weather.
Brighten someone's day with a card and gift from Clinton's.
It'll be sunny across the region, although there'll be some cloud inland. Later it'll become increasingly cloudy, bringing with it some rain. Top temperatures 15 Celsius, 60 Fahrenheit with a brisk breeze.
Well, it's a pretty depressing subject, actually. It's the child support agency we're talking about now. I know so many of you have had problems with it. Every time we talk about it, you phone in, you text in, you email in your droves. Even the Prime Minister, for goodness sake, has called it a nightmare system. In a few weeks' time, the new chief executive of the agency will report to ministers on how he thinks it's working. He's doing a sort of report on it now, reporting back in October, and apparently we'll know what they're going to do about it by the end of the year. But we think that after the report there might be more calls for it to be scrapped, so why don't they just do it now? One person who'll be calling for just that, probably louder than most, is single mum Sonia Poulton. Morning, Sonia. I don't know why you're smiling. She's endured a frustrating 5-year battle with the CSA. Over the last 3 years she's kept a detailed diary of events on her computer, and we're going to peek into it right now.
March 28th, 2002. The past 2 years have been very difficult. Even the weekly shopping bill has stretched my resources, and my brother and sister frequently drop off food for us. November 27th, 2002. Having received our monthly cheques for September and October, I learned today that our maintenance money has gone missing. I hang up in tears. I was relying on that money to buy Shay a bike for Christmas. October 17th, 2003. I am drained and exhausted. I have excruciating abdominal pains that always come on when I'm stressed. Shay has picked up on the stress created by the CSA. November 17th, 2004. I am fed up of hearing Tony Blair bang on about eradicating child poverty when his system has created more. September the 9th, 2005. All this has had a knock-on effect on Shay. I tried to shield her, but like all children, she has picked up on my emotional strains. When are the CSA going to be held accountable for the mismanagement of money that is the moral and legal right of the children of this country?
Yeah, it is. Nicely put, Sonia.
Thank you.
Was it good for you to be able to get that frustration out on your computer?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Because it is very, very frustrating. You're dealing basically with a faceless bureaucracy, and it is frustrating. And if you are financially strapped, which we were at the time, you just feel like nobody's listening to you, and there is this whole culture of arrogance which existed within the CSA, and I don't really know where it stands at this moment in time. All I can tell you is that our compensation after all that amounted to a grand total of £85.
Sure. And are you getting money at the moment?
Well, we
are.
are.
Is it finally resolved?
No, it's not.
Oh,
no, not at all.
gosh.
We're not receiving arrears, which amounts to over £5,000, and we are receiving a bare minimum. And they're still looking into it, even though we have now actually had the independent case examiner look into it. It has been properly analysed. My complaint was upheld, and yet still it's not really fully rectified.
Do you know, those phone calls for you must have been so frustrating, because I know, Ben, I remember you telling me about the BT situation you're in. When you phone BT or the utility, sometimes you come off feeling so frustrated you feel like crying. How much do you have felt?
Well, I felt dreadful, which was why it is wonderful to be able to write, because it is very cathartic. You feel like you're going through your own therapy, and I would just like to say that anybody else experience it, and I know there are thousands out there experiencing the frustrations of the CSA. I understand, believe you, I do understand what you're going through.
So what was the lowest point for you?
I think the lowest point was when I received 3 calls in one day, and the 2 calls were after I'd sent a letter of complaint to Baroness Hyam, who at the time was the Minister for the Department for Work and Pensions.
Now it's Lord Hunt, who I spoke to just the other week.
Okay, and so I received 2 calls saying this is not going to happen again, it's now going to run smoothly, and then 3 hours later in the afternoon I received another call from a member of the CSA telling me that with immediate effect our maintenance would be cut from £374 to £120 a month.
That's good
with
news.
Immediate effect.
Yeah.
No
Did
notice.
that third person that called have any idea that you'd had the previous 2 calls?
No. Oh, no, absolutely not. Oh, they don't.
It's 5 years of calls.
I just find that so bizarre. There's just no communication.
There isn't, and that is the problem, is that, and often they don't even have notes on the screen that you've had a conversation with them.
Right, Sonia, do you know, we spoke to the CSA about your case, and this is what they had to say. They say the agency works hard to ensure both parents meet their responsibilities to financially support their children, whether they live with them or not. This can often be difficult where parents refuse to comply or prove difficult to trace, which hasn't happened in your case, has it, Sonia?
No.
Last year we collected more than £600 million for children. OK, but still so many parents and children are frustrated. And little Shay there, as you say, has seen you crying, she's seen you upset.
Yeah, which is all part of being a human being, because we all go
absolutely,
through those emotions. But, you know, a lot of it was unnecessary.
Exactly.
A lot of it was really unnecessary. You know, what I would like to say is that the CSA, the theory is brilliant.
Yeah.
It is wonderful.
Isn't it?
We should all be held responsible and accountable for our children.
Yeah.
But the practice is appalling.
Well, there is a thorough investigation underway. As I say, it's due to be handed into ministers next month. They'll report to us by the end of the year. Our political correspondent, Gloria Di Piero, is at Westminster for us this morning. Wow. It's a mess, isn't it, Gloria? And the government can't believe it's worth persevering with the system because so many people are calling for it to be scrapped now.
You know, the government are often the CSA's harshest critics. Tony Blair said during the election to a single parent when she was berating him over it, the system is a nightmare. There is no point in trying to kid you. So you would think, yeah, they're going to scrap it. Well, I spoke to someone last night, someone who's working very closely on this, and I put that point to him. But he pointed out, well, if we did scrap the agency, we'd just have to set up another one because we still need to recoup these maintenance payments, and that we're not going to stop doing that. But critics, the Liberal Democrats, for instance, they said you wouldn't have to set up a new and give it to a different government organisation. Let the Inland Revenue, for instance, administer it. But Fiona, you and I know about the calls that we've had on tax credits, so that's hardly a model of efficiency. So what my source said to me is we're going to try and kickstart it. That, we believe, is the least worst option.
Right. OK, Gloria, thanks very much indeed. Look forward to that report coming back next month. If you're still waiting for payments from the CSA, you can find out how to complain for all the good it'll do you by visiting our website. And Sonia, thank you so much for coming in. I hope it gets better. And Shay, it was your birthday yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did you have a good day, yeah? And how old were you?
8.
8 already. Did you get Ballet Bunny for your birthday? No. She's an old friend. All right, lovely to see you both.
Pleasure.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
OK, 17 minutes past 7. In just over an hour's time, we're staging our big Spanish holiday home giveaway. It's your last chance to enter the competition.
Yeah, one of you is going to be the owner of an apartment on the Costa Blanca by the end of the show. And Keith has the details.
Oh, dear, this is ridiculous. Oh, good morning to you. I'm in Spain. Oh, I've been looking after the GMTV home, and I've had a fantastic time, and I don't want to leave. Oh, memories, memories.
Memories press between the pages of my mind.
Oh, some great times, I can tell you that. Look, I've watered your plants, I kept it nice and tidy, and I've decided I'm going to stay on for a few more days. There you go. Oh, the phone. Oh, it's the boss of GMTV. What? Get out. I'm losing you, I'm losing you. He wants me to get out, but I'm not, I'm staying. Oh, it's the front door now, who's that?
Mr. Chedwin, yes. I've got your car. It's time to leave. I've come to collect your bag.
Well, no, you see, I've decided I'm going to stay for a little while.
No,
longer.
Mr. Chedwin.
No, I'm just going to stay.
Mr. Chedwin.
I'm going to stay for a few days.
Mr. Chedwin.
What?
You have to leave.
No, I don't want to leave.
GMTV is giving you the chance to win your very own holiday home worth over £90,000, courtesy of Harrodale Properties. It's a 2-bedroomed apartment with a balcony overlooking the Costa Blanca. The prize is located just down the road from the beach on a development with landscape gardens and shared pools. It also comes fully furnished, and there'll be 4 runner-up prizes of £1,000 each. What is the name of the Spanish waiter in the TV series Fawlty Towers? A. Mike, B. Morris, or C. Manuel?
You can dial 09068 100 100. That's 09068 100 100. Or you can text A, B or C as your answer, plus your name and full address to 81149. Or you can enter via the website.
Good luck to you, get darling, and very soon this home could be yours. Hey, oh, what are you doing? Hang on a minute.
Come on, Mr. Chegwin.
No, look, I don't want to go.
You've got to leave.
Look, just a few days, that's all I'm asking.
Mr. Chegwin, you have to leave.
I don't want to.
You've got to.
I do.
Just thank you, lucky stars, you couldn't see up his shorts. That happens
See,
sometimes.
that's actually how he tends to leave most places, isn't it? Being dragged out by his feet. Those lines are only open until 8 o'clock. You've got just over 40 minutes. We'll reveal the latest finalist, the last finalist, and then we're going to hold the grand draw at around 8:20 in exactly an hour's time.
The
Someone will win that place.
draw.
It's going to be huge.
Our director's very excited about this morning, so you have to hang around, if only for his sake.
Yeah, not
Right,
us.
Liberty X are back.
Brilliant.
Yeah, they haven't been around for about 18 months now, but here's a clue as to what they've been up to.
They are Britain's hottest pop act, and after an 18-month break, they're back, and they're sounding better than ever. Liberty X are with us now. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
We were just, actually, in the break, we were just reminiscing back to when you all first came on.
The good times.
Back in 2001.
Yeah.
When it was all so new, you were still called Liberty.
Without the X, yeah.
Without the X, before the court case and the #1s and the Brit Awards and the sensational headlines.
Oh, it sounds good when you say that.
How do you feel now, though, when you think back to those days and everything that's come sort of under the bridge?
Old.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
We've had a great run. We've had 5 years together so far, and we're just so grateful we're still around, to be honest.
Especially because the band formed off the back of Pop Stars and what Hearsay had won. And you guys essentially were the losers.
Yeah.
And if you look and see what happens now, it's funny how the sort of fortunes have completely turned around, isn't it?
We've been really, really fortunate, very lucky, and I think the luckiest thing about us was that we managed to break away from that really cleanly, and it's not really mentioned that much, and which is really, really good. Obviously, we thank our lucky stars every day that we were on it because we met each other, but you know, the programme didn't get us where we are today, it just brought us together.
Yeah, sure.
You've got an edgier sort of image. You think about you and you're cool, you're not sort of naff like Hearsay were.
Well, at the time, I'm not sure that's how people would have considered them, but ultimately...
Well, you're trying to say we were naff?
Yeah. No, but how it pans out down the line. And you've had 18 months off. What have you been up to? Where have you been, for heaven's sake? This is a lot of pop, things move.
Yeah, we went through a label change, which took a few months, and we're making the record, the new album, which is called X, and we did a record in France with Kool and the Gang last summer, which was amazing. So yeah, and then individual TV things. Kev did the game, Shell did the wrestling, Jess did the ice skating.
I saw Jessica doing the ice skating. You were very impressive, actually.
Yeah, she was robbed, wasn't she?
That was all of those things sort of have also given you all each a sort of an individual identity as well. Do you think that's been important for you as a band?
It's always good to do individual things, and it's good to try our hand at different things that challenge us, but I certainly don't consider myself a wrestler. I lost badly, so...
But I tell you what, we are pleased to say that you did go off and do your own thing, but then came back and you've reformed, and I think we should have a quick look at the video for your new single, Song for the Lovers. Now look, you nearly got arrested making this video. Tell us why, Kev, what happened?
Well, we were just on top of this roof, and these coppers were like hovering over in helicopters and stuff, and I think the producer of the video didn't get a planning permit.
You have to have permits to film everywhere.
Yeah. Everything, yes, especially in New York with everything that's happened over the last few years.
And they came down and threatened you. They're saying, unless you stop filming or sort this out.
I think it was our manager winding us up. It was just someone who was wearing like an NYPD cap. I think he was just winding us up.
Because he stayed there for a while and watched it, so yeah, I'm sure he would have got told off probably if he had done that for real.
But it's collaboration, this one, as well, wasn't it, with Reverend Run from Run DMC? And I remember talking to you ages and ages and ages ago, and you were saying something really exciting is happening, you might be working with Run DMC, and it was this single.
Yeah.
That must have been fantastic.
It is fantastic to actually now be releasing it as well, because we've worked on it for so long, and like we've written it and we've produced it and we've really
It was him.
Yeah.
So
broad shoulders, doesn't it?
So modest.
But it's, you know, it's been a real kind of challenge, I suppose, over the last year, so we're very proud that we've managed to come back, especially with a collaboration with someone like Run.
Excellent. Well, look, we're really chuffed that you've come in this morning. I know you're going to be performing for us at Entertainment Today later on as well.
Yes.
So, guys, we look forward to seeing that. Cheers.
Thank you. Nice jacket, Tony.
Thanks
isn't
very
it?
much.
That's
Yeah,
very
thank
nice.
you.
You've been eyeing him up all morning.
The
Look at you.
velvet's very in this.
Is that right?
Especially now it's getting colder. Let's go to Sheffield and find out what the weather's going to be like. Here's Claire.
GMTV weather, sponsored by Tops Tiles, brightening homes, whatever the weather.
Hello, good morning and welcome to the Peace Gardens here in Sheffield. It's really lovely here this morning. There's lots of open spaces like this right across the city centre here, and that's probably one of the reasons why it's won this most amazing award, gold medal in the Entente Royale, which is equivalent of Britain in Bloom but for the whole of Europe. But even award-winning gardens like this could actually suffer this weekend, and the reason why? Well, summer sadly has gone. Even though there's some clear skies here in Sheffield, it's turning cold for the weekend, and there is a chance of a widespread ground frost this weekend. Temperatures actually could dip to around 2 Celsius during the early hours of tomorrow morning. That means the delicate summer plants, they could actually suffer conditions like that. In fact, this morning across many parts of Scotland, temperatures dipping down very close to freezing, particularly in more exposed parts. There we are seeing some clear skies. On the satellite picture we can see where the skies are clear, but there is more cloud down in the southeast as well as East Anglia. We're seeing some showers and rain here and also some cloud across the south coast, but it will eventually clear away. This morning then, the best of the weather away from that southeastern corner where there will be some sunshine, such as here really, in Sheffield. We're seeing some clear skies. That means some sunshine. The cloud breaking up across Scotland, low cloud here this morning, 1 or 2 showers across the far north. For Northern Ireland also we are seeing 1 or 2 showers across the eastern side and the eastern side of England as well, but they will become less frequent through the day. Similar scenario for the southeast. Down in the southwest, the cloud breaking up, you should see some fine weather later on today. And for the Channel Islands, some rain this morning. Again, it'll be a slow process, but it will clear away. Let's have a look at the temperatures today then. Well, it's very windy down in the southeast as well as up towards Lincolnshire, so watch out. It's feeling quite chilly here this morning. Even so, temperatures at the very best in the south, 18 Celsius, further north, 15 is 59. Tonight then, watch out, England and Wales, widespread ground frost, perhaps even the odd pocket of air frost. Further north, we're seeing more clouds come in. That maintains temperatures slightly higher, and that means for tomorrow across Scotland and Northern Ireland, there will be rain, and that rain gradually clearing away Saturday into Sunday. But for England and Wales, a fine day tomorrow, and a fine day right across the UK on Sunday. Watch out for the temperatures, though, feeling more autumnal than the last few weeks. Here's your summary. For your in-depth local outlook, visit our website, or for a 10-day forecast, call GMTV's Weatherline on 0905 514 0000.
Hey, fighter pilot Ben is on the cards this morning. What's that all about then?
It was my dream to go up in a fast jet, and a Harrier jump jet, and I got to do it.
Like a Top Gun sort of thing?
Very similar.
Did you do that walk towards...
Well, you'll have to wait and see, won't you?
Oh, I can't wait.
More exciting than that, though, the full uncut trailer from the new Harry Potter movie, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. It's not out until November, but we've got the full trailer in about 10 minutes. All that's to come, but first, here's the news with Penny.
Thanks very much. Good morning. 2 leading supermarkets have slashed the price of their petrol by 4 pence a litre, the first significant cut since prices soared after Hurricane Katrina. Asda and Tesco are the first companies to act on the fall in wholesale fuel prices, but the government's encouraging other retailers to follow suit. Despite today's petrol cuts, fuel protesters in Wales are still planning a motorway go-slow this morning. The 20-mile-an-hour rolling blockade will head along the M4 from Llanelli to Newport. The aim is to cause maximum rush hour disruption along the 86-mile route. Protesters are demanding a cut in duty on fuel. President Bush has gone on the offensive to assure survivors of Hurricane Katrina that the American government will pay to rebuild the devastated region. He's spoken live to the nation from New Orleans, promising the biggest reconstruction project in history. It's expected to cost around $200 billion. Bridget Jones star Renée Zellweger has split up from her husband Kenny Chesney after just 4 months of marriage. A spokeswoman has confirmed in the last few hours that they are going to have their marriage annulled. This report from Alan Fisher.
Renée Zellweger only tied the knot in May. She met country and western singer Kenny Chesney during a charity concert. And after a whirlwind romance, the pair married barefoot in a beach ceremony in the Virgin Islands. Now, the Bridget Jones star wants to be a singleton again, citing fraud as the reason for the breakup in papers filed in a Los Angeles court, but giving no further details. Only last week, when asked on GMTV how she was coping with married life, she remained guarded.
What's married life like? Is everything you thought it would be?
You know, I've been kind of busy, so I haven't noticed the formality of it, you know what I mean? But, you know, I'm smiling a lot these days.
And what's he like? You're smiling a lot. What's he like? Is he...
Oh, I don't want to talk about that.
Oh,
I can't.
you can't.
I gotta keep those precious things precious for myself.
There's been speculation that the couple's marriage was in trouble because they were spending so little time together. Her publicist has confirmed the couple are now apart and they're seeking an annulment.
Women who delay motherhood to their late 30s and 40s are risking ill health and heartbreak. A report published today by 2 female consultants says the best time to have a baby is between the ages of 20 and 35. But many women are putting off having children because they're under pressure to have an established career first. And finally, the football film Goal premiered in London last night, and its star Anna Friel certainly scored with the crowds. She adorned the red carpet just 2 months after giving birth to her daughter. Amongst the celebrities there were sports stars Alan Shearer and Michael Owen, who both have cameo roles in the movie. The film is a rags to riches tale of a boy from Mexico whose talent takes him into Premiership football. 7:34, I think that's rocked at Fiona's boat. There she is with
Yeah, that sounds good.
Aww.
That was the money shot. You missed the goal. He was going to score the goal. That's so typical.
Well, maybe he didn't score the goal. Maybe
He
that's
does-
why
he
we
scores
came
the
off
goal.
it.
We
How do
saw
you
it
know?
earlier on the news.
Did we?
Have you
Yes.
actually seen
I haven't
the
seen it.
film
No,
yet?
I'm desperate to see it. It looks like a
Yeah,
cracking
well,
film.
it looks
And the
excellent.
soundtrack's great. We've got a really big thing on the Premiere and Entertainment Day later on as well.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, I like entertainment today. I'll
Jolly
be
good.
sitting down watching that. Talking about movies, we have got the Harry Potter trailer coming up, The Goblet of Fire. If you're not interested as a mum or a dad, your children will be. I'm really into Harry Potter now. I never used to be.
It's
Good.
awesome.
Can't wait to see it. And who is this? Well, you know who that is, isn't he? Gorgeous? I've always said that. Doing that Tom Cruise walk towards his Top Gun
We
plane.
actually did walk really slowly. That wasn't slow motion.
That was
I
your
was just trying to prolong it. I was too scared.
That was your dream come true, though,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
absolutely.
And you can see the fulfilment of that dream in a few minutes. See you then. Hello again, 21 minutes to 8 on this Friday morning. If you've been watching all week, you'll know that Richard Arnold has been making dreams come true
He's
for
very
some
good
of
like
our
that, isn't he?
viewers, isn't he? Very a benevolent sort of guy he is. And he made your dream come true, didn't he?
He certainly did. I was very lucky. Some of us planters have had their wishes granted. It's my turn today. My wish was to become a Top Gun. I've done some pretty silly things in my time. Bungee jumping, para-bungee, and of course canyoning. But it has always been my dream to fly in one of these things, a Harrier jump jet.
But before I get anywhere near one of these £30 million bits of kit, I've got a few things to learn.
Ben, welcome to 20 Squadron.
It takes over 4 years to train as a Harrier pilot and costs £1 million a year, so the RAF aren't taking any chances with me.
First thing for us to do is to go and get all of the equipment fitted, so if you'd like to follow me.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Watching the people get leery. It's not very pretty, I tell thee. Walking through town is quite scary.
If it does all go wrong, we need to leave the aircraft, then I'll call for you to eject, and it'll be clear, eject, eject, and you go for the handle there.
Check it out, I've got all the kit. I'm feeling certainly very cool right now, but they've just given me the most important part, the bit that's going to save my life. The sick bag. Certainly feeling a little bit more Tommy Cooper than Tom Cruise, has to be said.
So this is it. Jesse's ready. I think I'm ready. Let's do it.
Whoa!
amazing experience. I have so much respect for these guys now. I understand why they need to go low-level flying. And the aerobatics. I got to flip the plane. How cool is that? I'm not going to sleep for weeks.
And he hasn't slept for weeks, but only because he's been getting up early in the morning.
No. Honestly, that was the most exhilarating thing. Thank you to everyone at 20 Squadron, to Zane and to Wilco, who sorted it all out, and of course the boss, and Jessie, that took me up in the plane. It was, and I didn't throw up, which was the most exciting thing.
But you had
they
to
were all
sit
very
there.
disappointed.
Why, you know that walk to the plane, which I was rather taken by, I have to say. Why do they always look sort of bandy when they're doing that?
Why have you got a wide gate?
Yeah,
But,
that's what I meant.
It's because I've got oversized thighs.
No, is there anything up
It's
there?
because no, you got. No.
Oh, I know. So hopefully there is.
Like when you
obviously,
think things and you think I shouldn't say that.
Yes, well, I don't
that filter's
do that.
Not there
That's
anymore,
not
is it?
there at all.
You've
no.
got G pants on. You've got these special G pants on that inflate to restrict the blood flow.
See, I knew there was something going
But
on.
Jessie actually let me fly the plane as well. So when you saw us do the loop, and you saw us flying, I was actually controlling the plane at low level, 250 feet, 400 knots. Bring it on. Awesome.
Yeah, no, it did look brilliant. It's an expensive bit of kit, that.
It is, yeah, 30-odd million, and they let me
Ooh.
fly it.
Oh, silly man. Right, Richard is getting ready for another surprise this morning. Not one of us, but someone more deserving.
Much
a
more
family, actually, later on this morning, aren't you, Richard?
Good morning. Yes, have I got something on my back? You would tell me, wouldn't you? The swaggering gait I have, Ben, but the helmet hair I couldn't possibly cope with, which is why, yes, I finally have my own wings, like Clarence from It's a Wonderful Life. I think the last time I wore a pair of these, it was with sequined hot pants and platforms, but my clubbing days are well and truly over. I still have one more wish to grant, and it is truly fantastic. Move over, Tinkerbell, that's all I've got to say.
Look at him. Do you know, I didn't even notice those.
Do you know,
They
he looks
suited
like
you
he
so
looks like the
much.
fairy from Will o' the Wisp. What was her name? I can't remember.
Oh, I can't remember.
No one can remember. Let us
Mavis,
know.
the fat fairy.
Who was it? Mavis, yeah.
Mavis, oh Mavis.
See you later, Mavis.
Thank you very much,
I feel
Richard.
more like the Moog, actually.
Richard's back just after 8. And if you want more details about our dreams come true, you can visit us online. Sadly, we're not making any more dreams come true. So many of you have phoned in, but it has been so successful. Maybe we'll do it again.
We look forward to seeing those dreams when they do come true as well, when they're actually for everybody.
Yeah,
and one more family still to have theirs come true. A little bit later on, we're going to be making more dreams come true. It's the last day of our Spanish holiday home competition. Your last chance for a place in our grand final, which we're going to have at 8:20 this morning.
Yeah, and Cheggers has all the details.
GMTV is giving you the chance to win your very own holiday home worth over £90,000, courtesy of Parador Properties. It's a 2-bedroomed apartment with a balcony overlooking the Costa Blanca. The prize is located just down the road from the beach on a development with landscape gardens and shared pools. It also comes fully furnished, and there'll be 4 runner-up prizes of £1,000 each. What is the name of the Spanish waiter in the TV series Fawlty Towers? A. Mike, B. Morris, or C. Manuel?
You can dial 09068 100 100. That's 09068 100 100. Or you can text A, B, or C as your answer, plus your name and full address to 81149. Or you can enter via the website.
You've only got about 14 minutes left. That's when the lines close, and we're selecting the winner of that grand prize at around 8:20. They're all winners, really, because even the losers get £1,000.
Yeah, we just can't stop giving this morning. Something very special for anybody who hasn't entered the competition. The long-awaited 4th Harry Potter movie hits the cinemas on the 18th of November.
I'm sure you know if you're a Harry Potter fan. It's called Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. And overnight, while you were sleeping, the trailer was released, and we have got our grubby little mitts on it. Here it is. Feel some Christmas presents coming on.
Can we just watch it again for the rest of the show?
It's brilliant. The thing with the Harry Potter movies, you know you're going to go in there and have a real... Right, now then, I wonder what you're doing at the weekend. Maybe you haven't decided yet, but if you've got an important occasion, you'll want to know the weather. Claire's up next, and Polly's standing by to talk telly. See you soon.
Lotus Thirst Pockets with technology, sponsors of TV Pick of the Day.
Oh, Polly's here. There was a bit of... Is it Saturday? Right,
Yes.
OK. Well, I saw it advertised. This is Ant and Dec's game show marathon.
Excuse me,
Right,
I haven't
Polly's
come
here.
to that yet.
Right, OK. We'll come to that
EastEnders.
later. I'm going to look in the papers. Right. EastEnders.
EastEnders.
I saw Kat and Mo last
Well,
night.
I can't figure this out. Have a look at this clip. Little Mo's got a necklace on with a B on it. A letter B, and I can't work out because she's not with Billy anymore.
What's the baby called? Bobby.
Freddie.
Oh, well, who's Bobby then? Gary's,
He's
Lynn's
from Dallas.
baby. Oh, I don't know.
Anyway, anyway, they're all fighting, they're all arguing. Some people are hitting each other. It's all happening.
All
EastEnders
right.
tonight. Have a look.
I don't want you two fighting, not over me.
We're not fighting, Mo. Alfie was just telling me how much he loves me and he don't want to lose me.
Oh.
Isn't that right, darling?
Yeah. Have you hit him?
Oh, that's touching.
You had no right to do that.
He's been lying to both of us, Mum.
You didn't mean to.
Can you hear yourself?
No, I can't. In fact, no one can hear themselves when you're in the room, Kat. You don't give anyone a chance.
B's for Billy.
But they're long split up.
Well, she obviously hasn't in her heart, you see.
In her
She
heart.
loves Alfie. That's what they're arguing about, isn't it?
She should take that necklace with a B off then.
And stick it in Cat's eye.
Right, Ant and Dec are
Yes,
back with a
on
splash.
Saturday.
Right, OK,
Saturday.
OK.
Now,
Why
this
do
is-
I think it's Friday then?
I don't. Maybe you're a
No.
day ahead.
Yes.
This is part of ITV's 50th birthday celebrations, and it's Ant and Dec reviving famous old game shows in their own inimitable style. And tomorrow night it's Come On Down, because the price is right.
And we haven't got a clip there, because I
No.
was expecting there was a big build-up there.
Well, well, we have got a very good clip coming up now, because
Right,
also as
okay.
part of ITV's 50th birthday celebrations, there is It'll Be Alright on the Night.
Right, which has been running for about 50
Yeah,
years.
It'll Be Alright on the Night 500.
Yeah.
But it's still good and it's still funny, and I didn't choose the clip.
At some places, they're actually doing a dance called Doin' the Cruise, and it imitates his appearance on Oprah, where he gets up on the couch and you go, I'm not cool, I can't be cool. She's so great, I can't be cool. So this is Doin' the Cruise. Try it. It's a Friday.
Come on, Ben, you've got to do it.
I was going to do it, but they just said
you challenged him twice.
health and safety, you
Oh,
can't get on
it's
this.
pathetic. It's go on, do it. Get up there, get up there. Do the cruise.
I love Katie. You're not cool.
I hadn't seen that before.
Don't trust everything you see on TV.
I hadn't seen that before. And you didn't even have a stuntman or anything.
I didn't know. I had a big bruise on my head, though.
It's worth it. Look at the joy it's brought
Look
to
at
us.
the joy.
Yeah, we're a
That's a
bit
birthday
simple, though, aren't we?
celebration. Anyway, I think we should get the weather before anything else goes wrong. Here's Claire.
Have a good weekend.
GMTV weather. Sponsored by Topps Tiles. Brightening homes, whatever the weather.
Hello, good morning and welcome to Sheffield. Sheffield award-winning for so many different reasons. Michael Vaughan, the England cricket captain, comes from here, and also because of its open spaces, it has won a gold medal because it's a green city in the Entente Forale, which is equivalent of Bristol in Bloom but for Europe. It beats so many different countries, and you can see why. There are green spaces like this all over the city, and it's a lovely place to come even before work, and this morning it's gorgeous here. Also, must congratulate St Ives, also won a gold medal in the same competition. Now this morning here in Sheffield, the reason why we're here is even award-winning gardens like this will struggle this weekend because it's going to turn quite frosty. It's the first widespread ground frost of the season. Autumn certainly is with us. It's chilly here this morning. It's going to get colder over the weekend. For Scotland this morning, we are seeing some clear skies, and here there is a pocket of air frost, one or two places, particularly over the higher ground. On the satellite picture, we can see more cloud just across the southeast, as well as East Anglia, with some outbreaks of rain, gradually clearing away, eventually clearing away from the Channel Islands as well. One or two showers further north across the eastern side of Northern Ireland and the far north of Scotland. This morning then, the sun's coming out here in Yorkshire. It's coming out across most parts of the country, away from the south and the southeast. It'll be a slow process here, but it will eventually break up. And across the far north of Scotland, low cloud across Scotland and Northern Ireland, now breaking up also. Showers across the eastern side of England becoming less frequent through the day, and that means most of us seeing some sunshine at some point during the afternoon. Temperatures then struggling a little bit. It's very windy in the southeast, as well as places such as East Anglia and Lincolnshire, so quite chilly here. Elsewhere, 15 to 18 Celsius at the very best. Watch out tonight. Widespread ground frost, as I said, across England. Well, temperature down to around 2 Celsius. Please wrap up your delicate summer plants. got a few more weeks left of sunshine like this. And then as we head through the weekend, the rain across Scotland and Northern Ireland on Saturday will eventually clear away to the north. And then that means a better day on Sunday for these parts. For England and Wales, it's going to be a fine weekend, mostly dry, but rather cool. Here's your summary.
For your in-depth local outlook, visit our website, or for a 10-day forecast, call GMTV's Weatherline on 0905 514 0000.
A place of your own in Spain. In 20 minutes' time, one lucky person will be the owner of this holiday home we're showing there. It's our grand final draw. Oh, you don't know how glad we'll be when it's all over. Good morning, this is GMTV Today.
It's coming up to 8 o'clock on Friday, the 16th of September, and it's 2005.
Yes, it is our great holiday home giveaway this morning. The lines are about to close in a couple of seconds, about 30 seconds actually. In quarter of an hour, we'll have 5 finalists ready to battle it out to win that place in the sun in Spain. Don't go away, even if you haven't entered. It'll be exciting, especially if it goes wrong.
Yeah. Also this morning, we're going to be making some more dreams come true. Richard Arnold is ready to surprise someone. Morning, Richard.
Good morning, buddy. Yes, in just 10 minutes' time, I will bestow my last wish. And I have to say, this particular couple are truly deserving. So don't go away, just in 10 minutes' time.
Thanks, Richard. Emmerdale's Eric Pollard is in this morning. He wants to get us all on the move this weekend. Actor Chris Chickle, who plays him, is a bit of an athlete himself on the side, and he's here to explain all in about half an hour. Right now, though, it is 8 o'clock. Here's the news from Penny.
Thanks very much. Good morning. The headlines today. Petrol price wars kick off as supermarkets slash the cost of fuel. President Bush admits mistakes over Hurricane Katrina and promises he'll rebuild New Orleans, whatever the cost. And Bridget Jones star Renée Zellweger is a singleton again after splitting up from her husband. 2 leading supermarkets have slashed the price of their petrol by 4 pence a litre, the first significant cut since the price hikes caused by Hurricane Katrina. The move comes just days after panic buying at many forecourts nationwide. Jonathan Swain's at a Tesco service station in East London. So it's a price war, Jonathan.
Well, Penny, there's many happy motorists on the forecourt here this morning. 2 hours ago, at 6 o'clock this morning, Tesco's and Asda slashed the price of petrol per litre by 4 pence per litre. The price now is 89.9 pence for a litre of unleaded, 92.9 pence for a litre of diesel. And you can find these prices at 380 Tesco garages throughout the UK and 189 Asda garages around the UK as well. Now, the bosses from the supermarkets say that they've lowered the price because the price of crude oil has actually fallen in the last few days. So therefore, they're passing on the savings to us, the motorists. But it does beg the question why the big oil companies like BP, Texaco and Shell haven't done the same. But after this move by the supermarkets this morning, perhaps they will do the same, feel shamed into lowering their prices, and the speculation that they'll lower their prices even further, perhaps prompting a price war, which has got to be good news for all of us after everything that we've been through in the last few weeks, Penny.
Jonathan, thank you. Well, despite today's price cuts, fuel protesters in Wales are staging a motorway go-slow this morning on the M4. Around 100 vehicles are now taking part in the protest, and Jackie Cabler is there. Jackie, good morning to you.
Good morning. Well, they haven't quite got to me yet, Penny, which is fairly typical on live television. But yes, I've just been speaking to somebody who's in one of the lead vehicles, and she said that there are around 100 vehicles. That includes lorries, coaches, taxis, and just private cars, people who have joined in. Now, this protest has been organised by the Welsh Hauliers Less Tax on Fuel group, and they've been supported by the Welsh Farmers Union and just various people who feel very strongly about the price of petrol. They started late. They were due to start at 7 o'clock. They started at about 20 to 8. They're probably about a mile away now. They're going to go at 20 miles an hour all across the Welsh stretch of the M4 right to Newport and then come back again. That's going to take them all day, and it's going to cause massive disruption if they do it all the way. Earlier I spoke to one of the protesters, Nick Summerfield, and this is what he had to say.
I think we've got to just support our previous protests and make sure that government are aware that there are very strong feelings about this, because hauliers and farmers are desperate now.
Well, other protests during the week didn't have much impact at all. There was barely any people at the oil refineries. The only real disruption we saw were those queues at the petrol pumps from people panic buying. And now that there are 100 vehicles at this protest, it is bigger than expected. So maybe today this will finally have a real impact.
Jackie, thanks very much. President Bush has gone on the offensive to assure survivors of Hurricane Katrina that the American government will pay to rebuild the devastated region. He's spoken live to the nation from New Orleans, promising the biggest reconstruction project in history. Well, Cordelia Kretschmar is in New York. Cordelia, an admission of failure or an attempt to boost falling poll ratings for the president?
Well, both really. It's clear to everyone by now that the government's slow response to this cost lives, and just now the president took personal responsibility for that. In a prime-time speech from the French Quarter in New Orleans, he made one of the most important speeches of his presidency, actually. He said that the administration had failed its own people.
The system at every level of government was not well coordinated and was overwhelmed in the first few days. Americans have every right to expect a more effective response in a time of emergency. When the federal government fails to meet such an obligation, I, as president, am responsible for the problem.
He also ended speculation about the future of New Orleans. He vowed to rebuild it no matter what it took, and a figure of around £100 million is being bandied around. He also promised government money, federal money, to help people do things like build new homes themselves and to create jobs in the city. Well, that money had better turn up pretty quickly, because people are going to be returning to New Orleans as soon as tomorrow. Over the coming days, around 40%, tens of thousands of people are going to return to the city. So ready or not, New Orleans is open for business again.
Cordelia, thank you very much. Bridget Jones star Renée Zellweger has split up from her husband Kenny Chesney after just 4 months of marriage. A spokeswoman has confirmed in the last few hours that they're going to have their marriage annulled. This report from Alan Fisher.
Renée Zellweger only tied the knot in May. She met country and western singer Kenny Chesney during a charity concert, and after a whirlwind romance, the pair married barefoot in a beach ceremony in the Virgin Islands. Now the Bridget Jones star wants to be a singleton again, citing fraud as the reason for the breakup in papers filed in a Los Angeles court, but giving no further details. Only last week, when asked on GMTV how she was coping with married life, she remained guarded.
What's married life like? Is everything you thought it would be?
You know, I've been kind of busy, so I haven't noticed the formality of it, you know what I mean? But, you know, I'm smiling a lot these days.
And what's he like? You're smiling a lot. What's he like? Is he...
Oh, I don't want to talk about that.
Oh,
I can't.
You can't.
I gotta keep those precious things precious for myself.
There's been speculation that the couple's marriage was in trouble because they were spending so little time together. Her publicist has confirmed the couple are now apart and they're seeking an annulment.
Time is 6 minutes past 8. That's it from me. Here are Benny and Here they are.
Benny and Fee.
Poor Kenny Chesney. What
Well,
on earth
bless
has he
him.
done at one
See, we're just speculating over the idea that they've only been married 4 months, and they've had the marriage annulled.
No.
And
And she's been working, he's been working.
Now, over here in the UK, we think the law is to have it annulled means that you kind of consummated the marriage, right? So potentially, is it the same in America? They have different rules?
I don't know.
Is there showbiz?
Who knows? Maybe it's to do with consommé.
Or consommé.
It's a dish of some sort, whatever.
You say tomato.
Yeah. But the word fraud was mentioned as well. Apparently we phoned up, or Alan Fisher phoned up earlier on, and they mentioned that the reason it was being annulled was because of fraud. That was the...
The reason cited?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Maybe he's a woman. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's not a cowboy.
Maybe that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
He's not a real cowboy.
Or he might have lied about his age. Or
It's-
she
it's-
might.
it's
Who
upsetting though,
knows?
isn't it?
You
Poor
can't
old
even
Benny.
believe people who do that.
Shocking.
It would never happen here, clearly. That's what's been going on in the news. Here's what's happening where you are, though.
Good morning. Welcome to the breakfast news from ITV Granada. Detectives hunting the killer of an elderly woman in North Wales are hoping a reconstruction of the movements of a key suspect will provide vital new clues. It's been over a week since Elsie Hughes was murdered. Kate Gifford reports.
Police believe this is the man that killed 90-year-old Elsie Hughes. Found by her daughter, the former school dinner lady was lying in a pool of blood in her living room just over a week ago.
Earlier that day, a man like this, wearing a white hoodie, was seen acting suspiciously on the afternoon of Elsie's death. He walked into this takeaway in Abermorthy near Wrexham. Later, he was seen going into number 50 Harwarden Road, Elsie's home for 60 years. He was then seen running from the terraced house, holding a Spar carrier bag. A dark-coloured Ford Escort van parked nearby then left.
We're hoping for some further witnesses that may come forward as a result of the reconstruction. I know that we've had a positive response from the public already, and I know we've had some information tonight. However important that information is, it's too early to say as yet.
The people of Abermorthy hope it'll help trap Elsie's brutal killer.
The city of Liverpool's gearing up for the start of the round-the-world Clipper yacht race this weekend. Final preparations are underway as thousands of spectators are expected to pack the waterfront to wave off 10 international crews. They embark on the 35,000-mile adventure on Sunday lunchtime. It's D-Day for the former home of Ringo Starr today. Liverpool City Council is expected to approve a recommendation to demolish his birthplace on Madryn Street in Dingle as part of a regeneration project. Over 400 other properties are also expected to be bulldozed. Sport and Bolton Wanderers made history last night as they entered European competition for the first time in 131 years, taking on Bulgarian side Lokomotiv Plovdiv in the UEFA Cup first round. The Bulgarians took a lead in the 28th minute through Boban Janchevsky, but Wanderers made a stunning comeback with goals from El Hadj Diouf and Jared Borghetti. Everton have been left with a mountain to climb after being thrashed 5-1 by Dynamo Bucharest in their UEFA Cup tie. That for now, I'm back at 5 to 11. Time now for a look at the weather.
Brighten someone's day with a card and gift from Clinton's.
It'll be sunny across the region, although there'll be some cloud inland. Later it'll become increasingly cloudy, bringing with it some rain. Top temperatures 15 Celsius.
So in 10 minutes' time, we're going to stage our grand draw to find out who's won a Spanish holiday home worth £90,000. You're not going to want to miss that. But first, all of this week, we've made some fantastic dreams come true, and we're not done yet.
No, and as you'll know, the man leading the charge is Richard Arnold. He's about to spring the surprise of a lifetime on another unsuspecting family. You've had quite a week. It's been lovely, actually, Richard.
Oh, Fiona, it's been great. And I know we've had a terrific response from you guys at home. I don't think there's anyone out there who would begrudge the wishes that we have bestowed on people up and down the country this week. What's been lovely as well is when we've left the grantees, for want of a better word, we've met their friends and neighbours and people in the local community who don't actually know them that well, but know them enough to say it couldn't be more well-deserved when we have granted those wishes. Favourites for me, I mean, where to start, really? Golfier probably gave me the warmest welcome I've ever had on the road, and it's always women of a certain age. What is that? Also, of course, the lovely Kate. I mean, her story touched the nation. I know she lost her partner, of course, to cancer at just 35. His dying wish was that we made over their garden so his daughter, Ashley, could play safely. There was Amanda, of course, who had muscular dystrophy. She just wanted to ride horses so she could be free, so we're sending her off to the Wild West to ride with cowboys. Then, of course, there was Sue and Keith yesterday. They're going off for a romantic weekend, and they're going to need it as well because, of course, they have a brood at home of 7 with another on the way, another grandchild. So a crowded house there. But don't take it from me. Take a look at the week that was. It's been great.
Dreams can come true. Look at me, babe, I'm with you. You know you got to have home. You know you got to...
We're going to send you, the whole family, to Maui in Hawaii, okay?
Oh, fantastic.
Come to the door, my love. You know why I'm here, don't you? You come here. I'm here because this is what Jason wanted. That's it. Come here. Come out and say hello to the folks at home. How are you doing? And this is Ashley. Is this Ashley? Yeah. We've had a really tough time of it this year, okay? So we're going to do our best anyway at GMTV to make it a little bit better for you. What is it about horse riding that you love so much, sweetheart?
I'm free. I can do what I want. I can go where I want.
Because you know what we're going to do. That's your first clue. How'd you fancy going to the Wild West? Do you fancy that?
Yes, please.
Yes, please. We're going to take you all the way to Arizona, you and your clan, and you're going to be riding with cowboys. We're going to send you away on a romantic break to Italy. Oh, excellent. How'd you fancy Venice?
Brilliant. Absolutely wonderful, Richard. All that in 1 week, but you've still got one final card up your sleeve. Go do your thing.
I do, and here's your first clue, and it is a truly deserved wish I am granting. We're going to meet a couple, for want of a better expression, who've had a bit of a tough start to life. They're 9 years old now, the pair of them, but they were born 3 months premature. They had to have part of their lungs removed, and consequently their development's been slower than other lads their age. They've also lost their sister. She was just 20 months old when she died of leukemia, and consequently their mother wrote in and decided that Sean and Dean, up here in County Antrim, here we go, this is turn, deserved a little treat. Hello, sons, how are you? Now, which one's which? Who? Sean and Dean. Now, come here, Turn. Now, you wrote to us, lads. Huddle together. Look, they're like two mini Chesneys. Say Uncle Les for me.
Uncle Les.
Now, you wrote in, didn't you, Turn, for a very good reason. You'd have a tough time of it as well, haven't you, Mum? Now, what's your wish? You wanted to send them off to Disneyland, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yes, so we're going to send you off to Disneyland Resort in Paris. Would you like that, lads?
Yeah!
Yeah, I bet you would. Now, this is for you, Mother.
Thank you.
There you go, lads. OK. Now, I gather you haven't got passports. Have you?
No.
Well, you might need passports to go to France. Well, I tell you what, I got a pair of wings back in the van. Do you think that'll get us there?
Yeah.
You reckon so? There you go. Not at all, darling. Well, so there you go. Our final wish bestowed on a deserving pair. Look at the pair of them, aren't they fantastic? Sean and Dean, up here in Northern Ireland.
Richard, I can feel another pair of godchildren coming on.
Yes, exactly. I could do with 2 more.
How many have you got already?
Great. I've got the 2. I've got Luca and Arthur, yes.
Yeah.
And Arthur's just learnt to say, there you go, Uncle Rich. And the parents are behind me going, lovely, yeah, cash in the bank. Look at these 2.
It's so, and they ran up to you as though you were Uncle Richard, didn't they? It was so
Well done,
lovely.
Richard. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely brilliant. You can find out a lot more about the Dreams Come True series that we've been doing all this week by visiting the website at gm.tv.
Now, the moment we've all hoping would never come is about to come up next. We're going to give away a Spanish holiday home worth £90,000.
Yep, that's your prize in all its glory. That slice of Spain could be yours. Find out how after the break.
Well, the moment has arrived. If you think Ant and Dec's game show marathon is going to be big at the weekend,
nothing.
you ain't nothing on this, is it? We're about to stage the grand final to find out who's won a Spanish holiday home worth £90,000. First of all, though, we need a 5th finalist, don't we? Who correctly answered today's competition question.
Yeah, there it is. That's the question. What is the name of the Spanish waiter in the TV series Fawlty Towers? The answer we wanted was Sí, Manuel.
Yeah, and the computer has picked today's winner at random from all the correct entries, and the name of that person who's the next finalist is...
Julie Osborne, well done.
Well done to you.
Congratulations, Julie. You are now in the grand final to win the £90,000 holiday home.
Now, we have our 5 finalists. A reminder that up for grabs is a 2-bedroom apartment with a balcony, a shared pool on the Costa Blanca, and it is ready for you to move into, whoever you are going to be.
Yeah, all of the names of our finalists are in this hat here. Those finalists are Brenda Lax from Sheffield, David Jennings from Farnborough, Adam Higgins from Barnsley, Jenny Stone from Hertfordshire, and we've just pulled Julie Osborne from Nottinghamshire.
Ooh, lucky
Not literally.
Julie. And now, in this hat, I've got all the letters. They correspond to the screens here. Behind each screen is a video waiting to play, and the video will show Keith Chegwin with the keys to the holiday home. But in only one of these screens, A, B, C, D or E, is the right key to the door. And if you see behind the screen that Keith can open the door, then hey, you've got that Spanish holiday dinner.
£90,000 up for grabs. Let's start the ball rolling. I'm going to pick the first name. OK, the first name is Adam Higgins from Barnsley. There you go.
Right,
Adam, you're first.
And I'll do my best for you, Adam. I'm picking the letter Adam. You are going to be opening screen A. So, right now, we are going to see, Adam, what is behind screen A.
The key you've chosen, key A. Let's go. Good luck to you.
Oh.
No, can't even get it in the lock. Sorry.
Oh, sorry,
Adam. No luck there. OK, let's go for another name. OK, next up, Jenny Stone in Hertfordshire. Jenny,
Okay,
this is your
Jenny.
go.
See, I'm going to get the blame for all this, aren't I?
Quite
So I'm
right too.
picking the letters. Jenny, I have selected letter E for you. So let's see
Down
what
the
letter E rather has to hold.
Key E. Lock. Let's try. Oh.
Oh, so it wasn't tee-hee-hee for key E, I'm afraid. Another name, please.
Wee-hee. Okay, so it wasn't
It's not
Jenny.
way-hey for letter A either.
We've only got 3 left. You're all getting a fair chance at this. Let's have a go. The third person, David Jennings, who's in Farnborough. There you go, David.
And David Jennings from Farnborough, we shall be going behind screen C to see if Keith has the key to your door.
Key C, is this your lucky king? Oh, look, I can't even get it in the lock. Sorry.
Sorry.
So, David, at least you're all getting £1,000. All of our losers so far have got £1,000. There's only 2 left.
How have I managed this? Holding the suspense this far.
I don't
My
know.
Goodness.
OK, this is it. So, our 4th finalist, Brenda Lax from Sheffield. Could it be you, Brenda? It's all on Fiona's
Let's see
shoulders.
if Brenda will relax in a villa
I doubt she
in
will.
Spain. I have selected for you, Brenda, letter D. Let's see what's behind the screen.
Key D. Good luck to you. Here we go. Oh. No, no way. That's not going to work.
So how
Sorry.
I don't know how I've
Brenda,
managed this.
so
couldn't
sorry, you still won
win this.
£1,000, which means it's pretty academic. It means that the winner is, she won today, it's Julie Osborne from Nottinghamshire. There's only B
Yeah,
left.
but let's have a look anyway. Let's have a look.
Right, this is it. Key B. Good luck to you. Is it?
Where did that come from?
Congratulations, Julie. But would you believe this? We had all the other contestants on the phone, and
And because
Julie's
Julie came in
phone
this morning.
is engaged. We can't get through to her. So, Julie, if anyone knows Julie Osborne from Nottinghamshire, please let her know. She's won a £90,000 Spanish holiday villa. So
Fantastic.
no doubt she will be happy. That was going enjoying
It worked.
that. I want to do a quiz show after doing that.
Let's try and do one where we get the winner live.
Yeah,
That'd be good,
that
wouldn't
might
it?
be good.
OK, we have made some people very happy this morning. There's still loads more to come. Emmerdale's Eric Pollard is going to be telling us why his new mission is to get us all up and on the move. Actor Chris Chittle's going to be here after the break. So, Julie Osborne won a £90,000 holiday home in Spain, and of
Yeah.
course, all our other finalists managed to get £1,000 as well.
Yeah, get off the phone, Julie. People will be trying to phone you to tell you you've won it. That's such a shame we couldn't get hold of her.
It is a shame, but congratulations to all of you. It's been a fantastic week, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been really good, really good. Right, we're going to see what the weekend weather has in store now. Claire's up in Sheffield.
GMTV weather, sponsored by Tops Tiles, brightening homes, whatever the weather.
Hello, good morning. I've been down in Sheffield all morning. The reason why we're here, congratulate them because they won gold medal in the Entembrel, which is equivalent of Britain in Bloom for Europe. This is the man behind the project. John, very quickly, why is Sheffield so special? Why have they won this award?
It is the greenest city in England. A third of Sheffield is in the Peak District National Park.
Yeah.
There are 4 million trees in the city, 8 for every man, woman and child. We have 170 parks and gardens, some wonderful floral displays on the streets, and it was the fantastic support from the community. Thank you very much to the residential people, businesses, schools. Everybody in Sheffield got behind the project. A real Team Sheffield success story.
Congratulations to everyone in Sheffield. This morning they've got a gold medal for such an amazing city, a green city. Thank you very much to John. His mum's 91 today. Happy birthday, Winnie. And this morning in Sheffield is beautiful. The sky is so blue above me. The sun's shining down. You can understand why they're award-winning. Also, Michael Vaughan, the cricket captain, comes from here as well. It's a great city. Anyway, this morning, let's have a look and see what's happening weather-wise. Clear skies across many parts of the country, away from the far southwest, southeast, should I say, and East Anglia, where it's going to be cloudy. The odd patch of rain gradually clearing away from the Channel Islands as well, so it'll be a better afternoon to come. Showers across the far north of Scotland and eastern areas of England, 1 or 2 across Northern Ireland also. The clouds in the south will eventually break up, and that means a better afternoon. Temperatures 15 to 18 Celsius, freezing cold this morning in the southeast because of that wind. It should ease through the afternoon. It's a frosty night tonight across England and Wales, ground frost likely. Wrap up your delicate plants, it's going to be a very chilly one, even for award-winning gardens here in Sheffield. And the weekend, rain across Northern Ireland and Scotland will eventually clear away on Saturday into Sunday, and that means most of us seeing some sunshine through the weekend, but wrap up warm because sadly autumn is on its way and it's going to come this weekend. Back to the studio. Houston.
Thanks very much, Claire. There you go. That was your weekend's weather. Right now, though, we've got someone who's known as a Mr. Nasty, of the Dales, indeed, in Emmerdale. In real life, it's Chris Chittell. We've been saying it wrong all morning. I do apologise, but Chris is here this morning. It couldn't be more different as to his on-screen persona of Eric Pollard, and he's on a mission to get Britain fit.
I am, yes. In actual fact, since its initiation last year in 04, Britain on the Move has really taken off. I can't tell you how many people you see in the towpaths, in the parks, the walks up the mountainside, all shapes and sizes. Since then, just such huge amounts. Great response.
So
really good.
What is it all about then?
Well, it's basically getting fit, and by being fit, you're elongating your lives and your children's lives and your neighbours' lives. It has a knock-on effect. No, absolutely, yeah. Brings down a huge that as you say, that knock-on effect for the hospital situation.
And there's an idea to try and get everybody to do at least 10,000 steps a day, isn't it? That's what you want to aim for, and try and do that, if not more.
All shapes and sizes taking part, which is really good. And it's nationwide, as you know. And indeed, up in our neck of the woods in Yorkshire is Humberside. We've got Lorraine Chase there starting that off. Great Lorraine, she says to say hello.
Lovely.
Yeah, she's a good lady, good lady.
She looks so good. I always remark on that every time I
clever.
see her. But she's funny. She says, well, sometimes film, it's not my own skin. It doesn't fit my body anymore.
And we've got Julie Howarth, who's heralding the one in Preston. They're all over the place. They're in Cornwall, in Dorset, and Cumbria. Very exciting, really good.
And of course, you're well qualified to be getting us all on the move, because you yourself are sort of a renowned marathon runner and half-marathon runner. You've been doing this for years now.
I have been doing it for years, yeah, and I'm still getting a buzz out of it,
and
which
you
is good.
do look fit. You look really fit, doesn't it?
Do you train much? Do you have to, I mean, clearly...
I train in the restaurants, I train in the kitchen, I train in the bar, and I train occasionally on the towpath and up on the mountainside. So that's,
Are you training for the New York Marathon at the moment?
I am,
Wow.
but unfortunately just had the plug pulled on the New York Marathon.
Oh,
and
dear.
I now can't go because I've had too much time off during the year, so...
The other bosses are cracking the whip and they're saying,
yeah.
we need Eric on set.
Well, it's either sit up or shut up, and I'd rather sit up.
Well, and you wouldn't let go of a job like that,
No,
would you?
absolutely.
It's gone from strength to strength.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
From 12 episodes in
86. Back then.
When you joined.
And then you got more, and then you got more, and now you're part of the fabric down there.
And now I'm stringing along 3 words together, which is quite amazing.
But he's been married 4 times.
Yeah. Well,
Eric, I mean, what a great
just
character.
picked the wrong ones, didn't he? Obviously.
Yeah, clearly.
No, they picked the wrong one.
Thank
That's
you.
what happened.
That was the cue.
How do people get involved then in Britain? Because obviously it's happening. But
Well,
how do people get involved?
the web is www.itv.com
You're getting
/ Britain on the Move.
Oh, yes!
Yes!
So that makes sense.
Yes, all the information is there, and they have to take part. They really do. It makes such a difference, because once they've started... I've met people in the course of my training wherever I am. They started last year, the beginning of Britain on the Move, and they said what a difference it's made to their lives.
Isn't that great?
It's great, really good, wonderful. The whole family makes such a difference. I see people out on the towpath run regularly, because it's a lot easier than running up hills, because I'm a puff, really. And the whole family's out.
Yeah.
Really good feeling, yeah.
And enjoying it.
Yeah, but it's like yesteryear. When I was a kid, many years ago, that was the case. The whole family were going.
Yeah, went out for walks. And,
sharing. It's good for you.
We mentioned your wives in Emmerdale, and of course the wife you've got at the moment is kind of leading Eric. Do you think she's the one that's going to?
She's not his wife at the moment. There could be all sorts of things going to happen
along the line.
Ah, well, there could be a bit of they've had the titivation, and there's now going to be a little bit of intrigue and a bit more humour out of that, and a lot of disgraceful things.
She does have an ex-husband, though, doesn't she?
She does. She has a lot of exes, I think.
Yeah.
She's quite a girl, our Val.
She's quite a character,
yeah,
our Val. Yeah. You do pick them, don't you?
Yeah.
I think we've got a little clip just to prove her ex-husband hasn't been far away. Let's have a look.
Explain about that black eye.
Oh, it's not important. Are these all your bags?
Val!
I was mugged.
Oh. You all right?
Perfectly fine. Woolpack takings, gone for Burton, unfortunately, but no harm done.
What happened?
I don't want to talk about it, to be honest. It's too upsetting. How was Spain?
Yeah, well, Spain was fine. Have you changed anything in here?
No, don't think so.
He doesn't miss a trick, does he? You love playing him, don't you? Clearly,
yeah, he's such a scally. He really is.
I have a feeling you might be too.
My wife is outside, so
we'll watch that. Now, of course, big weekend this weekend, the Great North Run.
Yeah.
You've done it 10 times now. 10 years?
I think at least 10 times.
Wow.
Yeah. And run for leukemia research. Of course, there's quite a few of us guys that run for leukemia research, which is brilliant. 47,000 people are going to take part this weekend, which is really good.
Yeah.
So awe-inspiring, really good. All shapes and sizes there again.
Yeah.
Britain on the move.
It's a great atmosphere at the Great North Run as well. I've done it a couple of times and loved it. Yeah,
I was going to say you look like a runner.
Yeah, no, I've done it a couple of times. It's all uphill though, which I don't like, until the end, and then there's a really sharp downhill bit.
Well, I don't do the uphill bits. I've got my stunt double to do those. I do the downhill bits.
You need to get one of those.
I do. A few more years in the beard.
Yeah.
Good luck to my friends Ivan and Nadine that are running it this weekend as well. But thank you very much for coming in, Chris.
My pleasure.
Lovely to see you. Good luck this weekend.
Really good to see you.
And
see
you,
you tonight
likewise. Thank
on
you.
telly. By the way, Ben's... Oh, no, actually, there's more details of how you can get involved in this year's Britain on the Move on our website. Chris has told you a few details there, but we've got it on the website too. Your stunt double's doing ET, is it?
Yes, yeah, the better-looking, more refined, taller, sexier, yeah.
Without the tie?
The rich one, yeah. It never wears a tie.
Yeah.
It's going to have words about
Slovenly. Look forward to seeing him, along with Jenny. Have a lovely weekend. See you Monday. Bye.
Much better looking.
Hello, I'm Jenny Putnam. I like that. You should have seen the way he just threw the tie across the room there. Very stylish. You've been practicing.
I have. Good morning.
He's Ben Shepherd. I'm Jenny Faulkner. You are watching the most fabulous entertainment today.
Right now, before we tell you what's coming up on today's show, all of us here at ETHQ want to say congratulations to Pop Princess Britney Spears for the arrival of her baby boy. We believe is called Preston Michael Spears, Federline.
Now, what happened to the name Trailer? Remember we said someone placed a bet?
Could be. Freddie Flintoff, the rest of the England cricket team for bringing the Ashes home. Well done, lads. And, of course, Prince Harry, he turned 21 yesterday, or should we whisper that, just in case he's watching with a bit of a hangover?
Yeah, and can I just also say, Prince Harry? How come we haven't spotted him before? He's impressive.
He's on the radar now.
Exactly. Now, one group who haven't woken with hangovers today are the lovely Liberty X. They'll be joining us in the studio later to perform their new single. We'll also be grilling them about where they've been for the last 18 months, Michelle's TV show, and wait for it, her starring role at Jordan's wedding. Have you seen those photos?
They were all there. They're going to be telling us all the gossip. Talking of starring roles, she shared screen with Robert De Niro, Johnny Depp, George Clooney and Brad Pitt.
Not me, unfortunately.
Not yet, Jen. But she'll be topping all that this morning when she shares the sofa right here on ET with me and Jenny. Juliette Lewis is here to chat about her move from movies to music.
Yeah, and keep watching to see what happened when Martin Compson turned ET presenter for the day and interviewed his fellow actors on the set of Monarch of the Glen.
And Martin isn't the only one who's been swapping jobs this week. Jenny's also been moonlighting. Stay tuned and see what happened when she traded in her glamorous glad rags for a safari outfit to become a park ranger for the day. All this and so much more coming up on today's Entertainment Today.
first, time to indulge in this week's top showbiz stories with our celebrity mole. I love that description.
Celebrity mole?
Yeah, I want you to kind of burrow your way up from underneath the sofa. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Michael Underwood, good morning.
Good morning to you both.
This has been a mad week for you, hasn't it?
Been very busy, very, very busy this week. I've got to say, though, first of all, big news about today. Big showbiz story, bit of a sad one. Bridget Jones is single again.
No.
It's true, absolutely. Renée Zellweger, only 4 months this marriage has been going on. Her husband, of course, Kenny Chesney, country and western singer, it's all over. Apparently, a spokeswoman for her said that the marriage is going to be annulled and fraud has been cited for the breakup. Fraud.
Do you know, it's strange, because I actually interviewed her last week. She was in town for the Cinderella Man premiere.
Yeah.
And I spoke to her then. She's fit. She was looking superbly thin. I mean, just her veins were all sticking out her arms. It was quite worrying, actually. But I asked her then about it, and she did this. She gave me exactly the same answer she gave Carla, which I think we can have a look at.
Oh, I don't want to talk about that. I can't. You can't. I gotta keep those precious things precious for myself.
My thoughts were that if you are totally in love, you do want to keep it precious, but surely you'd say, oh yeah, I'm really happy, move on.
Yeah.
But she didn't want to even comment on it at all.
Yeah, you sort of got the signs. The early signs were there, really, weren't they? So no major surprise.
And the question about fraud and annulling.
You see, fraud.
A marriage.
What is that like? He wasn't who he said he was?
Well,
I mean,
clearly.
Well, could be.
Something wasn't quite right.
Not at all.
Anyway, now I have to say, you're looking a little bit tired. A few bags there, Mike?
Don't be rude. Honestly, heavy lighting and makeup. I'm trying to cover it all up.
They're geniuses in there, aren't they?
I was very, very busy last night. You know what it's like? You know, celeb parties, none around, then all of a sudden 3 turn up.
It was and it's your lucky night.
Oh, it was last night. Very, very busy. Kicked off the night. Premiere, Gold, Danny Cannon's new film, all about football. A great little film, and I've got to say, Anna Frail, the star, turned up. She looked beautiful as well. I think you see. Oh, we also got some there's Jerry there, and Simon Webb. He turned up as well for the premiere. But
is that Alex Shearer?
No, it's Michael Owen, believe it or not. And of course, the England cricket stars were all there too. Loads of them turned up. This is the guy. This is Kumo. He's the star. He was there. And I've got to say, obviously, the big star of the night. Oh,
Callum Best.
No. More about Callum later. Loads of people turned up, obviously, to praise the film. But Anna Frail, I've got to say, looked just beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
I know you'd never know that she's had a baby recently.
2 months ago.
Fantastic.
Stunning, isn't it? Absolutely stunning. I'll tell you a bit about the film. Basically, it's about a young Mexican immigrant who's got a bit of a talent for football. He gets spotted and gets brought over to this country to play for Newcastle United. So obviously from the sunny States to a very muddy pitch and soggy up in Newcastle. But it was absolutely a great little film, I've got to say. Absolutely stunning film.
Often the problem with football films is the football. Everyone watches I mean, because we sort of love football so much, over much. The football is usually a bit suspect, and everyone kind of goes, yeah, it's a great film, but, you know, the football was rubbish.
Yeah,
if you look at something like
actually...
Escape to Victory and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but the thing is, I want to know, with girls like this, because, I mean, I'm not necessarily keen on watching football movies at the best of times.
Well, from what I've heard, actually, it's not just about the football. That's not the main thing here. There's a lot more to it. There's also, it's all about, it's a love story in there as well.
And the soundtrack's supposed to be fantastic. Anna was in the film. She's coming in a couple of weeks, and I think she was saying to you last night that the soundtrack's fantastic, which we've had in the office all week. Oasis, the Happy Mondays, and I think that's always important on a
Absolutely, absolutely. And actually, Anna's coming in a couple of weeks here on ET, so we can chat to her about it more. I'm sure she'll tell you more about the film.
On the music front, another party.
Yes. So obviously, said hello to Anna, and then I moved on. To the next party. And this was Katie Miller's 21st birthday. I've got to say,
She's only 21.
Can you believe it? It was a very, very swanky affair. Look at that cake. A very clever use of marzipan. There's me, posing for a picture.
Now, can we say, if we see that in the magazines next week, I think you deserve a few sweets, Michael.
What are you
Bring
like?
to the stars.
And also, you
Michael
can see,
Underwood.
there's some lovely little drinks there as well. The food was amazing, absolutely amazing.
Sit down,
Canapes, no vol au vents here tonight. Oh, no. There were some lovely little things. Duck on lotus leaf.
Really?
Absolutely true.
What, no pineapple cheese chunks?
No pineapple cheese chunks.
It's not a party without pineapple cheese chunks. No chicken drumsticks.
And also little, like, parmesan
cocktail
shortbread.
sausages?
Crisps and peanuts?
No, it was very classy. And I've got to say, the birthday girl absolutely had a great time as well, especially because her family were there, that's what she had to say.
Oh, actually, I've got all my family's here, and my gran and my auntie are here from Georgia, which is quite mental, so hopefully they have a good time as well.
And because you were there, Michael.
Oh, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
Showbiz stars everywhere. Katie, her family, Michael, and random guest.
Absolutely, Cilla Black. It turns out that Cilla Black is a massive Katie Melua fan. And, of course, it was there to celebrate Katie's 21st. So I asked Cilla what was happening around her 21st year. Here's what she had to say about it.
When I was at the London Palladium, I had 2 #1 hit records. When I was 21, I had a #1 with You're My Will.
I have been told by a very reliable camera person that after that kind of soundbite finished, she turned around and went, I think you're gorgeous.
She took quite a shine, didn't she, Attila?
I don't know what it was. She just seemed to be very nice, and she was being very, very, very flattering.
Now, Michael, are you single?
I am single at the moment.
Oh, right, there we go.
Well, I was thinking, you know, mind you, I won't give away her age, but let's just say, you know, she's a mature lady.
Attila might finally get to buy that hat. You never know. And also, so you finished off the evening, mixing with a couple of my mates.
Well, absolutely. So there I am, 21st birthday. I'm thinking, leave that behind now. There's more canapés to be had. So I ended up with Callum Best, who we saw a little bit earlier on, at the Celebrity Love Island reunion party.
Was this the highlight of the night?
My word. End it on a high. That's what I say. It was a very, very interesting affair. Lots of people who gathered up there. It was at the Embassy Club in London.
Which ones turned up?
Well, we've got Rebecca Luce there. Oh, that was all looking Big Brother, you know her. Callum I've already mentioned. Lee Sharp.
Where's Abby?
Abby didn't turn up.
Oh, dear.
She wasn't there.
Oh, it's Steve and Eileen. Steve Brookstein and his missus.
And I've got to say, Lee didn't want any questions about Abby, so, you know, make your own minds up about that. He said, do not ask me about Abby, whatever you say. So, you know, what can I say? I did chat with Callum, though, which was very nice, and I asked him, would he ever do this type of thing again? Here's what he had to say.
I got no complaints. I'll tell you what, the show, I enjoyed it. It was such a laugh. And it sounds like a pretty typical reality TV thing to say, but I made some wicked friends, man. Lee, Fran, Greco, I mean, I keep in touch with all of them.
Well, rumour has it there is going to be another one, so you never know. Maybe he can do it all again.
Absolutely, you never know. But I hear it might not be Kelly Brook.
Oh.
It might not be Kelly Brook.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
It could be Jane or Abby, apparently. That's
Not
the story
together, though, surely.
Well, no, I don't think
they
together.
don't like each other, do
also, Rebecca Luce, apparently, she'd love to go for it.
Oh, yeah.
Little top tip, she
I'll tell you
whispered in my
what,
ear.
I wouldn't mind that job, sitting on a beach for a few weeks. That'd be quite nice as well. So you have had a pretty busy week. You've actually got more as well, haven't you?
Absolutely, I have got more. That was the party scene over and done with.
Yeah.
But I've also been to the Yorkshire Dales. Leah Bracknell, a.k.a. Zoe Tate.
Only glamorous locations for you, Michael.
Oh, of course, absolutely. She's going to be leaving very soon, so she took me around the set and looked at some memories. We had some memories that's coming up later. And also, Rachel Stevens, let's just say, locked me in a prison cell.
Really?
Rude.
I've had dreams like that.
Yeah, I don't think she was in there with them.
Yeah, I know. It's don't even go there. You'll see later on. It all makes sense.
Okay.
Michael, well done.
Thank you.
Thank you for coping with all those parties last night.
That's quite. Oh, look, I've got this for you as well. I brought it back. Oh, look. Come on.
Oh,
if you want the job, Jen, you better get into it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I'll treasure this, Michael, for the rest of my life. Yeah, you know, well, you've been checking out parties and wearing things like this. Ben and I have actually been enjoying the opportunity of fulfilling our dreams.
Yeah, all this week, GMTV have been giving both presenters and viewers a chance to have their dreams come true. Mine was to fly in a fighter jet with the RAF, which was just incredible.
Mine was that as well, but they said, no, Ben's doing it.
Ben's done it already.
Oh.
So you got something far more exciting. She got to wear some very small shorts.
Dreams can come true. Look at me, babe, I'm with you. You know you got to have them. You know you got to.
Now, I'm lucky enough to have travelled to many places in the world, but the one thing I've never done is been on safari. Since I was little, I've been desperate to get up close to some of these amazing wild animals. So today, my dream is to be a park ranger.
The lions are probably more dangerous than ones in the wild because they're not afraid. In the wild, you can scream and shout and they'd run off because, you know, they don't know what's happening. If you did that in here, you'd be eaten.
Now, the sign says, do not get out of your car. So, Ian, what exactly are we doing?
This is actually the tiger section we're in at the moment, and we've checked to make sure the tiger's in the house. That was a safety check this morning. We're going to go into the tiger house now and feed them out and give you a bit of a treat.
Oh, I love tigers. I don't think I've ever been this close to a tiger. What's her name?
This is Kadu, look.
Kadu.
Yeah.
Now, can I do that? Or will it...
Just put your hand on that.
Really?
You should just
do you think?
You can smell it. This is the best bit when we let them outside and they've got this aerotrol around it.
Oh! I think we're just scaring them off. Don't think they like me.
Brazilian tapirs we've got here, not the normal exotic animal. They like to be stroked. The more they're stroked, the better. Next.
You can't have them all. You've got to let some of your mates in. Ian, I'd like to thank you very much for today. It's been my dream to go on safari, but this has been even better because I've actually fed the animals and got really close to them, so thank you very much.
That's all right, but we haven't finished yet, I'm afraid. We've got the dirty jobs mucking out to do.
That's not in my dream.
Sorry.
That's not in my dream. It's in my nightmare.
Were you scared of that giraffe?
No, it kept pushing me. I thought I was going to fall out the back of the van. I was standing there and it kept wrapping its neck around like that. And I was like,
It was those shorts. It was attracted to those shorts. I think the smallest shorts a safari worker's ever worn.
Well, I just come back from holiday and I had to show my tan.
That's what you were doing.
If truth be known. I'm from Glasgow, that's what we do, OK? Anyway, moving swiftly on. Have you had that feeling that Sunday night telly's been lacking something?
Yes.
OK, well, apart from the fact that this Sunday at 8 p.m. on Channel 5, you can watch Britain's Worst Celebrity Driver live.
Is it the final yet?
I'm hosting with Quentin Wilson. It's not, but the first person's going to be chucked off.
Oh, right, so the eviction start.
Yeah,
it's been avid viewing. I can't believe they're such bad drivers.
I know. J.K. and Joe, Brian Blessed, Eric Estrada from Chips, Suzanne Shaw, John Noakes and Peter Purvis.
They're legends together.
I've missed someone off. That's terrible. They're going to be watching.
I don't know.
Antonia, right? She plays Darlene in Bad Girls. Do you know? I don't know how I forgot her because she's just speeds around the country wherever she goes. Anyway, if you're anywhere driving between Newcastle and Manchester today,
get off the road.
Get off the road because they are making their way there. Anyway, another programme that's on Sunday night is Monarch of the Glen. It is back. And it will fill a void for your Sunday night entertainment. To celebrate its return, we sent the ET cameras up to the Highlands for the cast to make their very own film.
Hey, you lot. You entertainment today? Is it going? You're right. So, what's your hot young presenter? You want me there? All right. One, I'll show you Glen Bogle.
Came across a place in the middle of nowhere with a big black horse and a cherry tree. I felt a little fear upon my back. I said, don't look back, just keep on walking.
This is our Laird and leader, Mr. Lloyd Owen, and also Housewife's favourite.
What can I say?
Well, you could apologise for a start.
I'm sorry.
Hey, that'll do just fine.
What's happened to you? Now Paul is turning out to be a bit of a ladies' man. When will he stop?
When will I stop seducing women?
Stop?
They just come at this character because he doesn't try. You see.
Yeah.
Unlike you, when I've seen you socially, you just try a little bit too hard.
You reckon?
It's because you're not taking my tips. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta let them come to you a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I'm still learning.
Yeah, that's just what happens. But I think he's a little bit unlucky in love.
Yes.
Poor Paul, isn't he? Because he wants, he's looking for the perfect woman.
I should never have listened to you, Molly.
With a horse called Safer's houses at 20 to 1, it was irresistible.
And very, very slow. By far and away, you've got the best room in the house.
Well,
much deserved, I must say, much deserved.
I think it's probably the biggest bedroom, but all the views are beautiful. Millions of people that want to watch something which is romantic and funny and beautiful to look at. And did I tell you the story about the place?
Oh, Susan, did I go there?
So I was at the station, and the lady said, "Oh, I love the show at Edinburgh Station." I said, "Oh, I'm so pleased." She said, "Yes, we turn off the sound and just look at the pictures." I think we're struggling learning these lines. Well, how did I do?
You've got the job.
Is she going to find love in this series?
Ah, that is so exciting, but I'm not going to tell you because it is so exciting.
Oh.
And the audience are going to be so happy.
Not even a snippet?
No,
No,
not
you
telling
watch
you
it.
anything at all. I don't believe it! You have spent Paul's money meant for something this house desperately needs on a horse.
Well, not just on a horse, on life. Ahoy! Monarch of the Glen!
Mr. Baker!
How did you know my name?
Donald has been described as Monarch's most eccentric character. Would you agree with that?
I would not.
Well,
I
who
would
is then?
not. Well, I think most of them a bit odd, really. But they're quite fun things to say. It's quite nice playing a kind of old toff.
Your relationship with Molly has been tense. How will that develop?
Tense? Well, I was hoping it would become passionately romantic.
Yeah.
Because when I'm standing next to her, there's no doubt about it, she makes my knees shake. But I have a feeling that finally she'll reject me, you know.
Who's the biggest diva? Who's the biggest?
Ah, do you mean people who act up a bit?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think we've got any of those, have we?
Well, everybody else said you.
Ah, did they really?
Yeah. Well, I told them to say it. Very true.
Well, I think there might be something in that, I
Yeah,
suppose.
yeah,
It's just nerves.
What a great bloke.
I know, I've been on that set a few years ago and they're all so lovely people. Really
Excellent.
nice.
Looking forward to seeing that come back
Exactly. Can I just say as well, back on the Celebrity Driver front.
Again?
Look for Eric Estrada in a Reliant Robin driving across the country. That'll be hilarious with his 8 suitcases. Anyway, now, from some of the UK's top telly talent to Hollywood royalty. Yeah, we're honoured to have this guest in. Silver screen star Juliette Lewis will be here after the break to chat about her latest music and movies.
And Michael joins Emma Dale's Zoe Tate as she takes a tour of the Dales for the very last time.
Plus, Liberty X will be dropping in to perform their new single, Song for Lovers. We'll see you in 3.
Welcome back. Still to come, Liberty X, Emma Dale, Zoe Tate and Rachel Stevens. But before that, we are very, 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 very honoured to welcome into the studio one of Hollywood's finest actresses, Miss Juliette Lewis. Good morning.
Hello.
It's lovely to see you.
It's nice to see you. Very nice to see you. And unusually, well, for us, it's quite unusual to know that you're over here because of music.
I know, isn't that wild? It's totally wild. I'm at the end of a 2-month tour with my band, The Licks. It's called Juliette and the Licks, and we're kind of getting embraced over here. So it's becoming a second home. We played Leeds in Reading and all these other festivals.
How did you find that? How did you find the whole festival vibe thing?
Oh, it's amazing because we get to go, first of all, to be included and a part of it with all these other bands we like Foo Fighters, Kaiser Chiefs, Franz Ferdinand. You know, you get to play in front of a bigger audience. Some people know you, some people don't, and then it's really challenging. And then you get to go and watch the other bands and mingle, and it's just the best. I really like festivals.
The festival season over here is fantastic, isn't it? There's some
Huge,
really
yeah.
great gigs. But I hadn't realised that you were a musician as well. I mean, is that something that's just suddenly come about, or have you always been into music?
Well, in my mind, it was always going to happen, you know, and then it was just news to everybody else. But we've been working quite a bit. I've had the band for 3 years. I didn't know how I was going to go about music. Whether I would be a solo artist or just how I would start it. My friend, he called me and was like, Juliette, what are you doing with your music? I didn't know. So I realized the only way for me to do it was through a band and through the live show. So I think we've developed a really strong live show. I know I have a lot to prove, and so for me, I just tell everybody, come see the live show.
But
Yeah.
honestly, if your live show is anything like this video, Got Love to Kill's a single, it's out on Monday. I think it's a bit Debbie Harry, actually, and a bit Duran Duran Planet Earth. Like, you know, it's a real kind of...
Let's
Have
have
a
a
look and judge for yourself.
Strong man, you're trying to raise your fist with nothing to fight. Slow down, ain't no enemy but yourself, brother. See the world, change the world, like a child in flight. But then turn, walk away, say goodbye to another day.
You see, now that's the Juliette we recognise because you've got the brown hair. The blonde's quite new.
The blonde was for a film. I'm doing less movies because I'm really giving a lot to the music. You have to, you know, if I'm serious about it. But I did have blonde hair for this movie a few months ago that I did with Jennifer Garner called Catch and Release. It'll be out next year.
Why have you chosen to move away from the movies, though? Can you not sort of keep them going together?
I don't think so, because music requires so much, because I oversee everything from the artwork on the album, the track listing, the lyrics, writing the songs, how I want the guitar solos. I mean, this is really like my creative emancipation, and it requires 110% of me, whereas movies, I'm hired to help tell somebody else's story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like J-Lo obviously combines, so I know you've worked with Jennifer Lopez. I've got to say, she's come over here and allegedly, you know, makes demands for things like candles in her dressing room. We don't know if it's true or not, but these are the stories. Have you got any diva demands now that you're a, you know, a musician?
Because these musician riders are the best.
Come on, we
Even
love
if I
the list.
did, it would fall on deaf ears. We're not, you know, we're a low-budget operation. My demand would be a clean toilet, perhaps.
You didn't even get that here.
You know, anything besides another deli spread. No.
Do you have decent? I mean, can you sleep? Do you need a bed? Because we might be able to help you.
The thing is, we do. That's cute.
You don't know, do you?
No, I don't. I've no idea where you're going with this.
We'll come shack up at your house.
Yeah,
maybe?
come.
No.
Okay.
We have a present for you. You see, it'll all come clear now. Because I know you get a lot of strange presents from fans, don't you?
Yeah, we do. I mean, I do.
Well, this might be the strangest. If you can open it if you'd like to.
Feels weighty yet soft.
I like the description for that.
Oh, this is so cute. Is it a duvet? A sleeping bag?
What is it? It is, in fact, a hammock.
Oh.
So next time you're on tour and you haven't got a clean toilet or anything, hang that up and you know you'll be fine.
All I need is 2 trees outside the bus. I'm good to go.
Or get your drummer and your bass player, get them to stand on each
We'll
side
all,
of the room.
me and the licks, all in a hammock.
Wicked.
All right. That is so wonderful.
Juliet, it's lovely to meet you.
We wanted to give you the weirdest present yet. Look, Juliet.
It is the weirdest present.
Yeah, okay, well, cool.
Thank you for coming. Good luck with the single, which is out on Monday.
Yeah,
and thank you for coming and joining us.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy the hammock.
Yeah. Rest up. Now, the time has come for Leah Bracknell, a.k.a. Emmerdale's vet Zoe Tate, to say goodbye to the Dales. But before taking off her wellies for good, Michael joined Leah for a final tour of the set.
She was the first lesbian in a soap, had a secret affair with her brother's girlfriend, killed her half-brother and burnt down a church. Yeah, the world of Zoe Tate's been anything but dull over the last 16 years, so when I heard she was hanging up her wellies, I thought I'd come to the village to find out why.
You're gonna find me out in the country.
Leah, hello. How are you? So lovely to meet you.
Nice to see you.
Now, what are you busy doing there?
I'm busy really preparing some of my final scenes for Emmerdale.
It's a big day for you today, isn't it?
It is a big day, yes.
You must be feeling quite emotional within the last hour set.
At the minute, I'm just sorting this out, but I will be later. I will be later, yes. There'll be tears later, I'm sure.
No time for emotion just yet?
Not yet.
I say, I'm surprised to see you outside a church, given your history with churches, you
well,
know.
if you look carefully, though, you notice that it is locked. Because they know I'm wandering around. Yeah, this isn't actually... I did actually burn down the last church that we used, so this is actually the new one.
The light! Zoe, let's go!
She crieth in the chief place of Congo. She crieth!
Let's go! We've got to go, Zoe! Please, Zoe, please!
Now, I was hoping that today you could sort of take me around Emmerdale, some places that sort of trigger memories for you, and we can have a chat about the 16 years that you've been here, which is absolutely amazing. I mean,
I would love to. I would love to show you what's been my home for the last 16 years.
Right then, Leah, so obviously a nice cheery start for the
Well.
tour. Here in the graveyard.
I just thought I'd like to introduce you to my family.
Oh, nice.
Who, sadly, half of them are all here.
They are.
Because this is the gravestone that belongs to my father, Frank Tate, and to my brother, Christopher Tate.
Chris Tate. Now, there's a big Emmerdale character.
Absolutely, yes.
There was a lot of trouble, wasn't there, with him?
Well, it's a love-hate relationship. We had a very complex relationship.
OK, so that's the graveyard. Where to next?
Well, how about the vets, where I've spent many, many years working and looking after the animals of Emmerdale?
Great idea. Take you that way.
This way?
Right then, so here we are.
This is it. This is Zoe and Paddy's surgery.
I was going to say, you've got a massive nameplate, haven't you, in comparison to Paddy there?
Oh, quite right, too. I think that's absolutely as it should be.
I think it's brilliant. Can we go and have a look inside?
Absolutely.
Great. I must say, it's more realistic than I thought it would be. You know how you imagine when you walk in a door, it's not really, there's nothing there, but
No.
it's actually like a proper set, isn't it?
This is the fun thing about the vets. It's always been a practical space.
I wanted to ask you about that, because obviously we've just seen your name on the board with all your
Yes.
qualifications.
Yes.
Now, are you a method actress? Have you studied? Do you know what all these implements and machines do?
I barely know one end of the cow from another. I think this is all starting to get to me a bit.
Well, running away to the other side of the world with your entire family can do that, I suppose.
I don't know if I'm doing the right thing.
Let's talk about the current storyline. That's what it's all about today. Talk us through how you got to this point.
She's got to face this charge of attempted murder, despite the fact that she feels that she acted in self-defence. And it's all coming to a crunch now. because she feels she might lose her children. She's going to be locked up potentially for 15, 20 years. And she's looking at maybe alternative ways of sorting her life out, shall we say.
Whatever happens to your character in this storyline, you're not going to be killed off, are you? So the door's still open?
Even if I was really fed up with the job, which I'm not, I could never turn my back on Emmerdale.
Right then, let's leave the surgery behind.
Lovely. What would you like to see next?
Well, how can I come to Emmerdale and not see the ball pad?
I shall buy you a drink.
Oh, great. Cheap round. Let's go.
That Underwood never turned down a free drink.
I know. Take it. That's what it is.
Not sure that was hard fair.
I'm
That's a little bit
joking. I'm
harsh.
joking. I'm joking. You know, he's new. We have to rib him.
Yes. Or insulting.
Anyway, time to welcome our second guest. Promise I won't say anything rude to you. They're just going down my ear. I was joking. I really like Michael, all right? They are, of course, Jessica Kelly, Michelle, Kevin and Tony, a.k.a. Liberty X. If you see Michael come in from behind me, just tell me so I can duck. I have to say, last week we did see you go-karting with Michael.
Yes. And we beat him royally, didn't we, girls?
Yeah, well, I'm very
Yeah.
disappointed.
He was a bit of a bad sport, actually.
He was.
He
took it very
says he'll let you win. Yeah,
He took it very seriously for a bit of fun.
But then he lost, which I was very disappointed about. I took him to one side, gave him a good talking to. Said, you know, that's not the ET way.
Considering I don't have a licence, he didn't do very well, did he?
You don't have a driving licence?
No.
So you enjoyed yourself there, then?
Yeah, it was wicked. I loved it.
So where have you all been for the last 18 months?
We've been going through a label change.
Yeah.
Making a new record and doing individual TV things.
Was that a change of label? Was that quite a traumatic thing? Was it kind of like you'd come to the end of the deal, you were on V2?
Yeah,
right?
we're on V2 and we're now on Virgin EMI.
Have you got a 5-album deal as well?
Well, yeah, it's sort of like subject to success.
Right, okay, so this one does
okay.
that. But when the
Sure,
last
will
deal came to an end, were you kind of like, oh, what are we going to do now? We've got to try and find a new deal? Or was there other deals on the table that you kind of said, let's go straight to Virgin EMI?
We were in a lucky position, actually, because we had most of the album demoed up and written and everything. So when the deal did come to an end, it was a little bit, not worrying, but, you know, it was kind of a delay on everything, which was a pain. But we had the album there, and therefore we had the confidence to just keep on pushing, and Virgin EMI came on board, and it was good.
It's hard in the music business because it's like a business.
It is a business. It is a music business, definitely.
Yeah. And it's you know, when you release your single, it's all got to be carefully planned, hasn't it?
Yeah, things have changed. We've noticed over the past couple of years. We seem really old now, and everyone's like, it's just a little bit different. There's not as much to do anymore. I don't know. We're really enjoying it, but because of we were mentioning before, there's a lot more downloads these days. There's not as much promotion to do on TV, but obviously we're still enjoying it.
See, I thought that would give you an easy time.
Yeah.
We want to work hard.
But you've been involved a lot more with this album, and in fact you wrote it, didn't you? You wrote the single. Let's talk about the single, Song for Love.
The single, yeah, I was involved in the writing and production of this, and it's quite good, actually. We worked really hard on this track, so it's an achievement for us to be able to bring this out as our first single, and also because Ron from Run DMC guested on the track with us, just because he liked the track, I think. So
That's really cool working with a guy from Run DMC, isn't it? It's quite amazing. It is good. I mean, you have all been busy. We've seen you on various TV shows, you know, the games and the wrestling and whatnot. And now, Totally Scott Lee.
Yeah.
And there's quite an exciting moment the other day. Well, we've got a clip of a quite exciting moment. I don't know if it's been out.
It's to be shown.
Oh.
Should we have a quick look at this clip, which I think you're perhaps the meanest person in the world with
I
this
know.
clip. You'll see why. You'll see why.
Poor guy.
What have I done? I'm really joking. Don't be silly. Babe,
You mind
stop
me?
it.
What do you mind me?
Babe, stop it.
So yes or no, I can't stay down forever.
Are you being serious? Stop it.
I can then, please. Because
he's trying to kiss you and you ignored him.
That's the first time we've seen that. I haven't seen that.
But look. I wonder what the answer was.
Oh no, that was like an honest, like a real surprise, honestly, and obviously because I would never have used those particular words to give him the answer back. Definitely, I would have, if I knew it was happening, I would have said, "Of course I will, darling." I would have done it all properly, but it was just an initial reaction, and obviously I wish I hadn't have said that, but I did.
Oh, well, congratulations, anyway.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
See that on the Totally Scott Lee show on MTV.
And thank you all for coming. We're going to see you perform the single, which is cracking. We're going to see that after. debate. Thank you very much for coming, guys.
Yes, thank you.
We could carry on gossiping about this all day, but unfortunately, we better draw breath for some commercials.
Yeah, after the break, Liberty X will be back performing their latest single, Song for Lovers, and we'll be explaining why Rachel Stevens locked Michael in a prison cell. Poor guy. See you on the other side. Welcome back to Entertainment Today. Still to come, Rachel Stevens behind bars.
For all that, though, here they are, Liberty X with their new single, Song for Lovers.
The drum beats go like this.
Now once again, my friend, it's the X again. Time to drop a few bars for the streets again. From the coast of California to the shores of Maine. Got an East Coast sound and my beats go bang. I know that you think that I'm new to this game. Set it off, y'all, like my name was Kane. Like a superhero armed with an old school tape. I'm back, y'all, you got to believe.
There's a song for lovers you can hear all the time, but you're like no other to me. So I'm not gonna promise you a starry sky. You just need to believe.
Yeah, I get down for my people hustling on the street. Break bread with a brother trying to make ends meet. Now this is it, y'all. Another hit for the streets. I got love for my people from Queens from overseas. Step into the room and boom, the whole screen. Live on the mic, I fulfill your dreams. Just like Martin Luther the King, I might teach. Holler if you're with me, cause the brother gotta preach.
There's a song for lovers you can hear all the time, but you're like no other to me. Like no other, like no other. So I'm not gonna promise you a starry sky. You just need to believe. There's a song for lovers, but you're like no other. Just clap your hands, yeah, yeah. There's a song for lovers, but you're like no other. You just need to believe, yeah.
If you say you really love me,
Won't let you down.
if you say you really care,
Hold out your hand.
if you say you really want me,
I will be
I promise I'll be there. Oh, yeah, yeah. I promise. Said that I promise I'll be there. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
You just need to believe.
Your faith has made you whole.
Yeah.
Right.
I really like that. I really like that. Thank you very much. That's Song for Lovers, and it's out on the 26th.
And Kelly hit that note that early in the morning.
I know.
That is... You got it. You nailed it. Thank you very much, guys. Well done. Cool. Now, look, Jen, I have to say I'm a bit upset because Michael got to meet Rachel Stevens. And I thought we had an understanding. Whatever Rachel does, I do.
Oh, don't worry. Maybe next time. I don't think so. I think Michael's just going to take her
It's not
away
fair.
every time from now on.
It's not fair.
Rachel's been waiting to speak to me. It's time to put her out of misery, ain't you? Very
Can't
fair.
wait anymore.
Come on in, how are you? You all right?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, very, very good, very good. And quite impressed to be here because it's the set of...
myself.
This is Bad Girls, of course, isn't it, where it's filmed?
Yeah.
Why is Rachel Stevens
Because
in
I've
a
been
cell?
very naughty and they had to lock me up and it was about time.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I don't want to know what law you broke.
No, I can't possibly share that with you.
No, come on, really, why are you here in the cell?
There's no particular reason, really. I think with this track, Ice and Never Again, it's a bit more of a rocky kind of... It's got a real kind of attitude to it, and we just sort of thought it would be good to spice it up a little bit.
So tell me about Never Again, because obviously there's got to be things that you've done in your life, maybe once before, you would never do again. What are they?
Yes, don't ever want to share them with you, though. But no, I think, especially in this song, I think lyrically, I think it's something that a lot of people can relate to. But this track is about not going back with... I mean, you can interpret it how you want to, really, but not going back with a guy, but you can't help it because he's... you just can't keep away.
Better off without you, but I can live without you. Am I ever gonna break away?
This guy on the wall here,
Yeah.
is this the boyfriend in the video?
I defaced him.
Because there's a lot of aggression you've got here,
I know, a lot of angst in that. Yeah, there's a few boys in this video.
Right.
So, which is quite nice.
But who's the one who comes to visit you? Because what I want to know is, did you get to pick him out? Is there a Rachel Stevens casting couch?
Yes, there is, actually. I got to pick all of the boys. That's one of the best parts. I like that.
Do you see what I did?
That's good, yeah.
Smooth.
Yeah.
Tell me about the role.
Yeah, it's in Deuce Bigelow, and I play Louisa Dirty Girl. Make of that what you will. I play one of his dates. Basically, he's a male gigolo who takes out loads of different women who are all crazy weirdos. And I'm basically covered from head to toe in just dirt.
Come here.
Good to see you too.
And you too.
See you soon.
Yeah, take care.
Cool.
Okay.
Take care.
Yeah. Oh, Rachel, Rachel. Yeah, Rachel, there's no handle. There's no door handle. Rachel.
You see, she didn't actually lock herself in there with him.
No.
So you're all right.
No reason to be jealous.
Exactly. Now, almost the end of the show, but before we sign off, time for the sweet steak. Now, you remember that last week the studio crew had a little accident. We're not going to point the finger at anyone, but look what they did to the jar.
And Dave, who did it, I'll point the finger, has actually taken 3 weeks off to get over it.
Penalty.
3 weeks, Dave. I know he's at home. It's his 50th birthday, isn't it, as well? His shaky
Happy
hands
birthday,
kicking
Dave.
in, that's what it is.
We have replaced the sweets. We haven't put them back, and we bought new ones, the exact same numbers. Someone had to count them all, and this is our new plastic container, so no one can drop it and smash it.
Non-breakable. Health and safety conscious.
Liberty Eggs, please join our list of guessers.
Yeah, Jamie Cullum last week guessed 1001.
What do you reckon? Quick.
What do we
think?
1,400. 1,400?
Yeah.
That's a fair guess. That's a fair guess. Thank you very much for coming
Thank
in,
you
guys.
very much. Good luck
you get
with
it
the
right,
single.
you get the sweets.
Yeah. And next
Find
week
out
we've
very
got
soon.
James Blunt on the show.
Yeah, it's good to see you. Have a great
See you
weekend.
then.
We'll see you
Cheerio.
next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You can